I want to touch on this, but I want to go to Psalm 55 and 21. 55 and talk about that. Then we're going to talk about the 30 pieces of silver.
Yeah.
But I want to give a little taste of what class is. I don't know how much time we can go on it, but we're going to try to do as much as we can. But we'll go back to Psalm 55 in a little while. But go to Leviticus chapter 3 and verse 1. Because what y'all doing, prophetess and Prophet Tobias, what y'all doing? This is what y'all doing right here. Because I studied the actual law. I go to Leviticus. I actually studied the law, and I've been doing this going on for 3.5 years. Okay, so I studied the law, to what it's saying. But read that. Just a taste, but I want to break down what Elder Stephen, we talked about Psalms 55. But read that right there.
Leviticus chapter 3, verse 1. And if his oblation be a sacrifice of peace offering.
That's what y'all doing now. And that's what we doing with y'all. Read.
If he offer it of the herd.
Aren't y'all part of the herd? The flock?
Yeah.
Read.
The flock, yeah.
Whether it be a male or female.
What did it say? Male or female? Read.
He shall offer it without blemish before the Lord.
Male or female? You telling me a female can't teach? I go to the spiritual side. I don't deal with that carnal mess.
Right. Bring it out. There you go. Tell them.
So we're going to break that down, but we want to go to Psalms 55 and 1. We're going to break down the actual sacrificial law to see if it's done away with. We're going to see who all these animals actually are. But go to Psalm 55 and 1.
I like how these classes just kind of build on each other.
Oh, absolutely, bro.
Okay, absolutely. Yeah.
What did 55 and 14, Elder? I think that's what it is, ain't it?
Yeah, when you talking about when he's talking about his who his enemy was.
Oh yeah. Let's see here. Go to Psalm 55:11, Elder. I'm sorry. Yeah, start right there.
Because this is the reason we have to bring this out is because what these men do, they've taught a doctrine where they're going to explain to you when the Bible is talking about wickedness, they're saying wickedness is one race of people.
Right.
What they're trying to give you a doctrine that say everything that's going wrong in the world is the white man's fault.
Yep.
Right? Everything. So they're going to blame everything on the white man. So they go to Malachi 1, verse 1 through 4. And he say he going to be called a border of wickedness. So they say, they see that right there?
Yeah.
Wickedness mean the white man. Anytime you see wickedness in the Bible, it's talking about the white man.
Mm-hmm.
Right? So now we're going to go on ahead and give you some precepts so that you can understand that's a lie.
Mm-hmm.
All right? Because if we can find something that's calling somebody else wicked, that means anybody can be wicked. Not necessarily because of their race.
We speak up. God speaks, but he speaks through us. So we don't care what anybody thinks. We care about what God thinks. We're not trying to satisfy nobody but God.
Right.
We ain't trying to satisfy our girlfriend with a microphone.
Right.
We're not trying to satisfy our wives. We ain't trying to satisfy our mama, our brother.
Right.
We ain't trying to look better than anybody else, put that on anybody. We speaking up for God and God only. I am sick and tired of people telling lies on God.
Yes.
I'm tired. I want to get the kingdom and get away from these wicked folks.
Right.
Thank you.
I'm tired.
Yeah, I'm tired too.
Either you're going to man up and be a man or a woman and man up on behalf of what God says. We don't want your stinking money.
Right.
We don't want that. We don't want no vainglory. We're not giants. We doing this for God and God only. We want him to get all the benefits of this. He's worthy of it. But read that, Elder.
Psalm 55:11.
Mm-hmm.
Wickedness is in the midst thereof.
You said wickedness in the midst. Okay.
Yes.
The people. Uh-huh.
Deceit and guile depart not from her streets.
Uh-oh. Somebody in the streets. You read that. It'll go on the older we bring it up. Let's go, because it'll make you laugh. And we keep going.
For it was not an enemy that reproached me.
You see that? No. You see, it was not a so-called enemy. Now, you got two enemies. You got carnal enemies. That's the people you've been programmed that they're your enemy, right? Then you got that old person to you, your enemy, but actually you got another enemy too. And he gonna look like you. Keep reading.
For it was not an enemy that reproached me, then I could have borne it.
See what I'm saying? You could have took that seed in and understood it.
Yeah.
You would have understood that. You see that? You can understand. You can understand a very racist person coming to you. You say, well, they racist, the mother and father or whoever they taught them bad. You see what I'm saying? You say, I hope you repent, brother. And but all of us, children of God, once you see the spiritual interpretation, you understand. Because I actually spoke to some like that. Brother, let me tell you something. When I get through talking to them, they're all right with me. They're all right with me. Then we go on. I actually have talked to those type people. Read on.
Neither was it he that hated me that did magnify himself against me.
See, some people you gonna know in life, they actually hate you. They'll tell you straight up. Keep reading.
Then I would have hid myself from him.
Okay, stayed away from him. Okay.
But it was thou, mine equal, my guide,
my teacher,
and mine acquaintance,
the person you hung out with in the church, sitting right beside you.
See that? Because it started off talking about wickedness was in the midst of this person, didn't it?
Yeah.
Now he's saying this ain't the white man.
I
could have dealt with the white man.
This ain't the Chinese man. This ain't the Arab man. This ain't none of them men.
It ain't the Gentiles.
No, it's not them.
This my brother.
Yeah.
My fellow Israelite.
Yeah.
Wicked.
Yeah.
See that?
Can I just say, is this the spiritual warfare that the Most High is talking about?
Yes.
Yes.
Because this is the thing, right? The warfare is a warfare of doctrines. He's telling you somebody's gonna come with a wicked doctrine. They want you to pay attention to the carnal enemy.
Yes.
But David telling you, it was the guy who was in my church that was trying to take me out. He talking about Saul.
Right.
Saul was the king.
Yes.
Look who the king now.
So is this
them camps?
Mm-hmm.
So is this why they're talking all this garbage about Ithon? Because he has found as he said, a higher understanding?
Yes. Now he's their enemy.
Yeah.
Right.
He's their enemy.
See that?
Mm-hmm.
Just like David. David was under Saul, right? Saul was the king. That was his teacher.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Ithon was under Nathaniel, and he found him wicked. So Ithon this is prophesying about the man.
Yes.
Now this is the stuff that Deacon Asaph called gossip. When you bring out the similitude of what's going on now, they literally manifesting it. Elder Yohanan brought the precepts to show that the Most High said their firstborn was going to start leaving. That's gossip to them.
And it's coming.
All right.
It's coming.
Now here it is. The Most High is showing you what happened to Ithon.
Yeah.
David was the righteous. Ithon is the righteous, just like David in this story.
Yeah,
Saul
yes,
was
yes.
the wicked, just like Nathaniel in this story. It's talking
Yeah.
about them. That's what the
Man,
elder is bringing out to y'all.
That man
Yeah.
don't want to hear that carnal doctrine no more. He don't want to hear it no more.
He not
don't
in
wanna hear
sin because he
Don't wanna hear it.
what's say flee wickedness.
Yes.
You're supposed to flee wickedness. That's what he did.
Yeah, he did.
We took sweet counsel together.
Didn't they do that?
Mm-hmm. And walked unto the house of God in company.
Unto the house of God.
Mm-hmm.
Unto the house of, not in the house of God.
Yeah. Walked unto the house of God.
Yes,
Mhm.
yes. Yeah. Jerusalem.
Mhm.
Verse 15. Let death seize upon them.
You see how King David talking?
Yes. He talking
Now he-
spiritual.
Yeah, spiritually. He want to convert it.
Yes.
Read.
And let them go quick into hell.
That King David. Oh, joke.
That's
Read on.
right. For wickedness
Meaning cap-
is in their dwelling. He
See
ain't
that?
talking about the white man.
Mm-mm.
He ain't talking about the white man.
Mm-mm.
This is in Israel, just like them scribes and Pharisees back in the day. That's the position they in now. They're doing the
Mhm.
exact same thing. Pilate was trying to save Christ's life. They said, we want him dead.
Mhm.
Just like they want Ithon dead
Mhm.
now, because he rejected them.
Yeah.
For wickedness is in their dwellings and among them.
Mhm.
Verse 16. As for me, I will call upon God,
Mhm.
and the Lord shall save me.
Okay, let's get some precept. Go to 2 Corinthians 6 and 17. I got plenty more, but we're gonna jump over some because I want to share some.
Second Corinthians chapter 6, verse 17.
Mhm.
Wherefore come out from among them, and be ye separate,
Mhm.
saith the Lord,
Mhm.
and touch not the unclean thing, and I will receive you.
See them doctrines. Now we're gonna see who he's talking about. Jump up to 15.
Second Corinthians chapter 6, verse 15.
Uh-huh.
And what concord hath Christ with Belial?
Y'all remember that name? Belial, Belial. They the ancient Pharisees before they became Pharisees.
Hey.
That's who they are.
Or
We're
what
gonna prove
part
it. Huh?
hath he that believeth in an infidel?
Uh-huh.
And what agreement hath the temple of God with idols?
Did you see that? That man getting up out of there.
Yeah,
Mhm.
because he's the temple of God. He the righteous over there.
That's
The
what.
rest of
That's
the
what.
folks over there is
yes.
a bunch of carnal, brutal thugs, natural
Yes.
brute beasts.
That's what
That's what
we
he
did.
called.
We got out of there.
And that's why that man, every time that man would be sitting next to Nathaniel over there, and Nathaniel would say something filthy, the first thing that man did was lower his head like that and start shaking his head.
Mm-hmm.
That mean that man was enduring all kind of torment
Oh my God.
next to that man over there, where that man doing all that foolishness. He didn't agree with it. That let you know that's why he's the righteous,
Mm-hmm.
because he rejected it.
You
It
rejected.
says, and what agreement have the temple of God with idols?
See
For
that?
ye are the temple of the living God. Just
Yeah.
like you read before, Tobiah.
Mhm.
As God has said, I will dwell in them. He dwelling in you, not in no
And you.
building.
1 Corinthians 3:16, 1 Corinthians 6:19. You are the temple of God.
Yeah.
And he ain't
Read it.
dwelling in them people when they go out there on tabernacles. He don't care
Mm-mm.
nothing about them tent. You the tent.
You the tent.
Yep.
It says, and walk in them, and I will be their God.
Mm-hmm.
And I will be their God, and they shall be my people.
Mhm.
People who following his doctrine.
Mm-hmm. So,
Wherefore, come out from among them and be ye separate, saith the Lord, and touch not the unclean thing, and I will receive you.
yes. So you go back to Psalms 55. Let's get another one. Let's get another one.
Hold on, let me get me. Can I cut in? Because he said that the wicked is. He said the wicked is Esau. That was his thing. Continuously Esau.
Mm-hmm.
Can we go to Jeremiah 5:20? I mean to interrupt. I just want to
Now you good, Elder.
intercede.
We're in Jerusalem. It's no telling what will happen in Jerusalem.
All right.
It's so beautiful, man. Yeah.
Yeah, I got one too, because I want to touch on what you had said before about whenever you told them about how they stand them people up. You said Jeremiah what?
5:20. So he said the wicked is just only Esau only.
Yeah.
Or is everything is always Esau? Oh, Esau is the wicked.
Yeah.
Jeremiah chapter 5, verse 20.
Mm-hmm.
Declare this in the house of Jacob and publish it in Judah, saying.
So stop. We already know right there who's the audience. So he's explaining to who to publish it to. Go to verse 21, please.
Hear now this, O foolish people,
Mm-hmm.
and without understanding, which have eyes and see not, which have ears and hear not.
So those people that hear what we're saying and see what we're saying and seeing as we put the precepts on the screen that's in that carnal doctrine, God said, you the ones that hear and see not. Go drop down to verse 26. Let me show you what God calls you. The people who do that.
For among my people are found wicked men.
So
That's a
from
big
among
cut there.
among who?
Among my people
Oh,
are
so
found wicked men.
Mhm.
as he said, Jacob and Judah. So that's proving to who he's talking about. Has found wicked men. Read.
They lay wait
Mm-hmm.
as he that setteth snares.
Mhm.
They set a trap. They catch men.
And that's why you sitting at those little flyer missions. All that stuff is all set traps to pull people in so they could be slaves under him. That's how they catch men. That's the wicked men of Israel. No, wicked men are just not Esau. Stop lying to the people.
Stop lying.
Now, I had wanted to get, because you brought that precept where they say mark them that cause division,
Mhm.
right? And it's often that they use that thing, right? But actually, it's actually talking about a specific thing that happened. That's why they said mark those men, because this is what happened. It's in Acts 15.
Right.
Right? People don't know that, right? This thing is talking about, when it's talking about mark them that cause division, this is the division that was caused. And so now you're getting ready to get the background on what that thing in Romans is talking about. It ain't talking about what they think it's talking about. Can you read for me, Elder Johanna?
Yes, I got you. It says, and certain men which came down from Judea taught the brethren and said, except ye be circumcised after the manner of Moses, ye cannot be saved.
So you got some people who coming down there saying that you got to follow Moses's law in order to be saved. That's what you had, right? Read on.
When therefore Paul and Barnabas had no small dissension and disputation with them, they determined that Paul and Barnabas and certain other of them should go up to Jerusalem unto the apostles and elders about this question.
Okay, so what you got is those people that's teaching that, right? you got a disputation because those people came out of Judea, right? They was believing in the carnal doctrine. They heard the word, right? And they believed on the word, right? The spiritual law. But they had the opinion that you had to do both the carnal law and Moses' law. That's the disputation, right? So what ends up happening, Paul and Barnabas, they go to Jerusalem to talk with Peter and John, Christ's brother, because they are the head of the church, so that they can give the final dispensation on what the people need in order to get salvation. That's the one who marked the division. The division came from them people who was following the carnal law.
The carnal law.
They ended up converting to the spiritual law.
That's right.
But they weren't convinced that you could just get the kingdom by doing the spiritual law. They said you had to do both the carnal law and the spiritual law. Like you hear them people say, well, all that went away was the law of sacrifice. He literally telling you. That's what those men say. And if you keep going and you read on, it get to the part where Peter and John end up telling the people what they needed to do. Right? Let me find it right here. All right, so we're going to start at verse 12 here.
All right, Acts 15 and 12. Really gonna ring this bell right now? Can y'all hear that bell?
No.
Yeah, I heard a bell.
What?
Sound like a doorbell.
Yeah. Then all the multitude kept silence and gave audience to Barnabas and Paul, declaring what miracles and wonders God had wrought among the Gentiles by them.
Right, so they was teaching the spiritual law to the Gentiles, letting them know if they converted, they could get the kingdom too. Read on.
And after they had held their peace, James answered, saying, Men and brethren, hearken unto me.
So now here is James. He getting ready to solve the dispute, because some of the people saying you gotta also do Moses, and Paul and Barnabas telling the people, no, you got to convert to the spiritual law.
That's right.
Right?
Simeon have declared how God at first did visit the Gentiles to take out of them a people for his name.
So whenever Peter went to speak with Cornelius, Cornelius is actually an Italian. All right, he an Italian man. Right? They came up with this thing saying, no, it's talking about he Northern Kingdom, but they ain't providing no proof that he the Northern Kingdom. The thing say the man Italian, right? So the Most High sent Peter to go teach that man the spiritual law, and them people converted. All right. So now he's saying Peter have declared how the Lord visited the Gentiles, right? So they understood the doctrine. He said they became his people whenever they converted to his doctrine. Right? Verse 15.
To this agree the words of the prophets, as it is written.
Okay, so they saying everybody agree that the Most High is saying the Gentiles gonna get the kingdom. He ain't talking about Northern Kingdom, talking about the Gentiles. Read.
After this, I will return and build again the tabernacle of David, which is fallen down.
So he's telling you, David had all of them Gentiles in his nation. All his mighty men, the majority of them was Gentiles. Uzziah, he was a Hittite.
He was a Hittite, right?
You know, I mean, all of them people in David's time, he incorporated the Gentile. He was working with the king of Tyre.
Yes, right.
The Zidonians were teaching the laws to the Israelites.
Yes.
He opened up schools with them people.
We're gonna get that class. We're gonna get that class. The man was teaching Gentiles.
He was teaching Gentiles. So he's saying the Most High say he gonna raise that tabernacle up again. That's what we doing. He said it's in our time. He wrote it before because it's in our time that it's gonna happen. And that's what's happening. These people starting to realize, wait a minute, white folks can get it, Chinese people can get it, regardless of what your race. Now they got a problem because we told them Ishmael got it.
Right.
Man,
They sure went into that. They went into that yesterday. Yes, they did.
People found out Ishmael. He learned from the river of gold. The man didn't even know what the 4 rivers was. Now he got something to say.
They went straight to the Zondervan Compact Bible Dictionary,
which is not approved by the Most High. Again, like I said, Elder Yohanan, I want them to go in that dictionary that they use all the time. Look up the word truth and see if it says that the truth is the law. I bet you them Zondervans say the truth is not telling a lie.
Yeah,
right.
They don't say the truth is a law, but y'all teaching the law is the truth.
The Bible says Jerusalem is the truth.
Right. So the thing is,
interpretation. Yeah.
The sources that they using are not following the doctrine of God.
Right.
So you can't use the Zondervan Bible Dictionary. He said righteousness mean righteousness, everlasting righteousness. And the law is the truth. It should be our righteousness if we keep the commandment. If you look in the Zondervan Bible Dictionary or Noah Webster's Bible Dictionary, I bet you it don't say righteousness, the definition being keep the commandments.
Right.
It don't say that because it's a different language. They teaching the Bible using the sources that go against what the Bible says.
Yeah.
That's how you know they the devil.
They framing a doctrine.
They framing a doctrine using the language of the people who they claim to hate.
Yes.
See that? They can't be trusted because they the devil.
He don't care. He don't care. He don't care. But time winding up.
Yeah. It's winding up. The people starting to see it now. The biggest problem is Ithon because he see it.
Yeah.
And they can't pull him back in.
They can't. No.
He won't go out for blood. He ain't laying and wait for blood no more.
No, he ain't going for it no more.
He ain't doing it.
That man started to fear God.
He gonna build up them ruins again, and he gonna set it up. That's what we doing. We setting it up again.
Yep.
Read on.
That the residue of men might seek after the Lord.
Spiritual doctrine.
And all the Gentiles.
All them people who want to learn the spiritual doctrine, who willing to convert out of any race. Read.
Upon whom my name is called.
His name is the word of God. That's his doctrine.
That's it.
Oh, read that again. We see, because y'all had a problem with that in Amos last time. Let's read that again. And all the Gentiles.
Yes.
Comma.
Yes.
Upon whom my name is called.
That's the people that convert.
Comma.
That's what it's saying.
The Lord.
That's right. Who doeth all these things. The Most High gonna make them people see this law.
Right.
And they gonna convert. Read on.
Known unto God are all his works from the beginning of the world.
Verse 19.
Wherefore my sentence is that we trouble not them which from among the Gentiles are turned to God.
He's saying don't trouble them with that carnal law that y'all trying to put the people under. He literally telling you don't do that carnal law. That's what he's saying.
Hey, Elder, you mean to tell me that if my brother died, I can't go sleep with his ex-wife, his widow wife?
Nah,
Don't do
no.
that. Give her a baby.
No. Bring up seed in her. In his
That's why I
name.
thought the law. That's why I thought the law said. The law said
That's
that.
wicked.
That's
brother.
wicked.
No,
That's
that ain't
wicked.
what that mean.
That
That
ain't
ain't
what
what
they
that
Lord.
mean. We gonna get to it. One day we gonna
Lord.
teach that class about bringing up seed in your brother's name.
Yeah. And you cannot snatch that your carnal wife prayers out there.
No.
That's that woman doctrine in your mind, brother.
You can reject God prayer. Hey, stop it, prayer, God.
That's right.
Stop it.
Whatever commitment she made, I revoke it here
Yes.
in the name of the Lord.
In the name of the Lord.
I got the power to revoke her thoughts.
I am the Mount
Now
Matumbo.
that's gone. You're done.
Mount Matumbo blocking dreams.
I just pulled her thoughts out the air. Any prayer she got, they done.
Johanna, the
Because I'm
dream
her
blocker.
Lord.
Yeah.
The dream blocker.
Yeah.
Right. Come on, man.
Hey, you can't bring that sorcerer over here, that witchcraft over here.
Right.
Mm-mm.
Read this next verse.
But
Because this is what he ended up telling them. This is the direction that the disciples gave the people. Read.
But that we write unto them that they abstain from pollutions of idols.
Who the idols? The idols is the men. What he
That's
said?
it right there.
Baal, Belial, Baal-Por.
Yeah.
That's
That's
them.
it.
That's the leadership of these carnal churches. That's
right.
what he said. He said, abstain from their church. Stop listening to them fools and all them lies they telling. Read.
And from fornication.
What's fornication? Now they think it's talking about a man sleeping around on with another man, wife, or something like that, or they ain't married like that deacon Malachi did over there, who they holding up now, like he forgiven for everything. It ain't
Right.
talking about carnal fornication. He talking about stop following these other doctrines.
Yeah. Revelation 2:24. Get out the bed with Jezebel.
With
That's they
Jezebel.
doctrine.
Get out of Jezebel bed before
Get
I
out
kill
of
you.
Jezebel bed.
He said, I'm killing you and her children.
Uh-huh.
It say from read on.
But we that write unto them that they abstain from pollutions of idols,
Mm-hmm.
and from fornication,
Mm-hmm.
and from things strangled.
So see that again.
Mm-hmm.
It's so wonderful that we did that class about them that dietary law about them animals,
Yes.
right?
It is.
Because those animals, those prophets,
Yes.
strangle the prey.
Yes.
Yes.
They kill the congregation with their doctrine.
Yes.
Right.
That's what he's telling you.
Yeah.
You got to abstain from things strangled. Most High say he want his sacrifice unblemished.
Yes.
An unblemished sacrifice. That's what he want. He don't
That's what
want
he
something that you done strangled and you done tore to pieces
Yeah.
with your doctrine. They
Your
mind
choke.
all messed up. How can they give me an offering and they thinking like you taught them?
You got
Right.
him. Yeah. You choke the word in him. You choke.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
He can't even speak. He can't even speak.
Right. Finish it out, Elder.
From things strangled, and from blood.
What's blood?
Doctrine.
That's right. Now there's only one blood that's
Yes.
righteous.
That's right.
That's Christ's doctrine. That's the
John
spiritual
65.
blood. It ain't talking about that doctrine that these men bringing to you.
No.
Garbage.
So it's literally saying the people that cause division
Mhm.
that it was talking about in Romans, the people that
Yes.
mark them that cause division, they're the
Yes.
ones that fit this characteristic.
Yes.
All right.
Yeah.
The ones that the pollution of the idols,
Mm-hmm.
the fornication, meaning they serving a different God. The people over there serving Bishop Nathaniel. That's
Yeah.
the God. From things strangled, they done went and they done strangled them people with their own doctrine.
Yes.
So the Most High can't use them. And from blood, that's the blood, that doctrine, that carnal doctrine that they telling you, them lies.
Poor
That's
child.
what he's telling you.
Poor child.
Yes.
Where you going to next, Elder?
We was on Psalm
Can I ask
55.
What'd you
Can I
say?
ask
What'd you say,
something?
Tobiah?
I want to go to, give me a breakdown, 2 Corinthians 10.
2 Corinthians
2
10.
Corinthians, verse 3.
Okay, hold on a second. Hold on.
Okay, yeah, okay.
Yeah.
2 Corinthians. 2 Corinthians 3. For though we walk in the flesh, we do not war after the flesh. You gonna break it down for us, bro?
No, go ahead. You break down. Let me enjoy yours.
Go ahead, Elder.
You got it with the flesh, Elder.
No.
Yeah, go ahead and break it down for us, Elder Sam.
No, I will listen to you.
But that we walk in the flesh, carnal.
Walk in the flesh, yes.
Yes.
We do not walk after the flesh.
No.
You walk after the spiritual.
Right.
Let me tell you something. Go to 2 Corinthians 15. That's the only scripture you have. You want to keep reading, Tobiah?
Till 5.
Till 5.
Right.
Okay, let's keep reading then.
Yeah.
Verse 4. For the weapons of our warfare are not carnal.
No. That's what we're doing.
It's spiritual.
Right.
But mighty through God to pulling down of strongholds.
Oh, so what we do this evening. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. Verse 5. Casting down imaginations
Mm-hmm.
and
Vain
every high
thoughts.
thing that exalteth itself against the knowledge of God.
Okay.
Against.
Those camp, IOIC.
Yes.
Against.
They exalt
Against the
themselves
knowledge.
against the knowledge of God. That is correct.
100%.
You actually breaking it down yourself.
Oh man, he got it.
Yes. And bringing into captivity every thought to the obedience of Christ. What's that talking about, Tobiah?
Christ's doctrine, and that is Matthew 11, 40 or 30, something like that. The yoke of Christ is not heavy.
There you go.
Yes.
You got it.
Yes. You did an excellent job, Tobiah.
Oh man, excellent.
Did an excellent job.
Excellent.
Yes.
1 Corinthians 15:31.
15.
Yeah. Then we go back to and we'll talk, and I'll just get a precept because I wanted to break down about that. And the animal sacrifice still exists.
Okay.
Yes.
Now that
I
you
don't know what
animals
they're talking about over there.
They talking about.
Because the
They
law
talking about.
is in
they talking
full
about-
force, according to the Apocrypha, right?
Yes.
Right.
It's in full force.
Yes.
Yeah.
They thinking about carnal possums, Elder.
And please.
Bless the hey, like okra seeds, like Barnabas'
Okra
wife.
seeds.
So some
Yeah.
Now,
Okra seed.
I don't want to start no controversy, but to be honest with you, they land with beasts.
Yes.
The
Yes.
men are in the midst of bestiality
Bestiality.
Yes.
because they
Spiritual.
land with beasts. You just pull
Yes.
that scripture in Revelation 2, 23 and 24, where he said
Yes.
anybody in the bed with that Jezebel
Yeah,
doctrine,
Jezebel.
a beast is a man. Y'all
Yes.
land with that man. Y'all
Yes.
following his doctrine.
Yes.
Y'all land with beasts.
Beautiful, bro.
Brute beasts, natural brute beasts,
Brute beast.
as a matter of fact.
Beautiful. Hey,
And them people don't even realize it. Whenever,
They don't
like we
even
was
know,
talking
bro.
about, when he talking about Christmas, well, it's talking about you.
It's him.
Because y'all the ornaments on that tree.
Yes.
You see what I'm saying?
Keep
All
going.
them high holy days of the land here. Well, the thing is, y'all doing them, but y'all celebrating it through y'all leadership.
Yes.
Y'all laying with beasts.
We're going to get into it. We're going to get into it.
1 Corinthians 15:31.
Mhm.
I protest by your rejoicing, which I have in Christ Jesus, our Lord. I die daily.
So you're fighting every day. That carnal man fighting that spiritual man every day. That's who you warring against every day.
Yes.
We're not even concerned about them clowns.
Right.
They're the body of sin. We ain't concerned about that. I mean, we're concerned about some people that's in there not knowledgeable.
Yes.
They actually think they're doing it for God.
Yes.
John 16, 1 and 2. They actually think they're doing it.
Yes.
Poor child.
All praise.
But, what was that, Elder? 55. Psalm 55.
1 second here.
Yeah, we'll go through it now
16.
right now, precept, because I really want to break down about that. Them 30 pieces of silver too. Yeah.
Yes. Yes. It says, as for me, I will call upon God, and the Lord shall save me.
He gonna call upon God, not bishop,
Right.
not deacon,
Right.
not captain, not just soldier.
Right.
God.
Right.
Read.
Oh. As
Oh
for
my
me,
God.
I will call upon God,
Yes.
and the Lord shall save me.
See, who gonna save him?
The Lord.
Not that spaceship,
Right.
not your bishop.
Right.
Read.
Verse 17. Evening and morning and at noon,
All the time.
yes, will I pray
See that?
and cry aloud,
To him.
and he shall hear my voice.
See that?
Now, it's interesting how that's written.
Oh man, it's beautiful.
Evening and morning and
Morning.
noon. It's talking about during the time period and people learning.
Learning.
Yep.
I'm gonna pray. I'm gonna be teaching
Yes.
and
That's
cry
right.
aloud, teaching.
Yes.
Teaching.
And he shall hear my voice, teaching.
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 That's what that's talking about. You're gonna be that because that's what we doing. We
Yes.
teaching these people evening, morning, and noon, all facets of the understanding of
Yes.
what this book means. They're not getting that understanding. Them people making stuff up. They don't know how that he uses the day to describe actually teaching somebody.
Mhm.
Verse 18. He hath delivered my soul in peace
My
From-
soul.
from the battle that was against me.
Now the battle, you find that old man. We brought up 1 Corinthians 15:31.
Yeah.
Micah chapter 7, verse 6. Let's go to that one, Elder. I like that one.
Which one?
Micah chapter 7, verse 6.
All right.
Remember we read earlier, he said, I can see my enemy, them other folks.
Yes.
I see them. No, this a bigger enemy. That one sitting next to you.
Yes.
That look like you.
Right. For the son dishonoreth the father. The daughter rises up against her mother.
Uh-huh.
The daughter-in-law against her mother-in-law.
Uh-huh.
A man's enemies are in the men of his own house.
You see that?
Bang,
And
bang,
the thing
bang.
is,
I like that one.
Bang,
yeah.
bang.
Hey, I like that one, King.
All
Yeah.
praise to the Most
I
High.
like that. I like
That
that.
don't sound like
Hey.
the white man to me.
No.
Bro. And you know what? And it gets deep, bro.
Yes.
It gets deep because they're talking about doctrines.
Yes.
Also,
That's right.
you see that?
That's
They
right.
got the wrong doctrine.
That's right.
But this biological, them thugs sitting next to you too.
Yes. Exactly.
Yes.
But go. So go to Psalm 55 and 19 now.
Psalm 55:19. God shall hear and afflict them,
Uh-huh.
even he that abideth of old,
Uh-huh.
Selah, because they have no changes.
Ain't that true?
Yes.
Read.
Therefore they fear not God.
Now we're supposed to be converting the world. Christ said, teach every creature. He summed it up. Every creature.
Yes.
Read.
Verse 20. He hath put forth his hands
Doctrines.
against such as be at peace with him.
Uh-huh. Now, they're acting like they're at peace with you. But when you say your doctrine different,
Yes. Just like
Oh, my God.
Deacon Ithon did.
yes.
Yes.
They say he has broken the covenant.
That's
right. They done started casting
y'all,
at that man.
Trey, go back over there.
No, he ain't going back in the treasury.
That's why I said, hey, babe, all praise the Most High that he got offended.
Praise the Most High.
That's
all
right.
praise he got offended.
The words of his mouth was smoother than butter. Now, you know I done heard this.
Ain't that in the precept packet?
Yes, this talking about the white man. This talking about the white man.
No, it's you. IUIC.
When David said it was my own, my brother, we took counsel together. It's my brother. He's saying the words of his mouth. He talking about them leadership over there at that camp.
Yeah.
He say their mouth is smoother than butter.
And it's smooth, bro.
Yes.
And it's smooth, ain't it?
Yes.
The devil.
That's right. He done gave that man all them smooth words. Just keep with me, brother. Just be loyal.
Hey.
I know the doctrine ain't the same as what you believe, but just stick with me anyway.
Yeah, they soothe.
That's them smooth words trying to pull that man out of righteousness.
Yeah, but they smoother than butter. But you can write down Isaiah chapter 2, verse 6 through 7. They're going to replenish like the Philistines did from the east.
Yes.
With that soothsaying. You know, the white man did it, the white man did it, not knowing you the one got my salvation messed up.
That's right.
Hey, hold on real quick. Can we get somebody that Christ had to deal with this as well? Mark 6 and 2. We're gonna read down to verse 4. About the prophets his enemies of his own house.
Mark chapter 6, verse 2. And when the Sabbath day was come,
so when the full understanding came,
he began to teach in the synagogue.
Okay.
And many hearing him were astonished.
Just like every time we drop a video, read.
Saying, from whence have this man these things?
So how is he breaking this stuff down? How are these elders precepting this Bible up? How can they do this? Read.
And what wisdom is this? Excuse me. And what wisdom is this which is given unto him? That even such mighty works are wrought by his hand.
By his doctrine. Mighty doctrine. His works, he converting people with his doctrine. Read.
Look at that. Yeah, we may as well let him go. You can go ahead and help this out over there. I don't know if he's a captain yet. We go ahead and help him out.
Okay.
Is not this the carpenter?
What did I heard? Stop. I heard a certain officer or whatever got asked a question. If they called Christ the carpenter, what did he build? And this brother
did he ever build? Say, ain't nothing in the whole Bible about this man building nothing. What did he ever build?
They so silly,
and the man was confounded. He didn't know what to tell him.
He ran straight from that question.
What did he build, brother? If he a carpenter, what did he build? The answer is in 1 Peter 2 and 5.
That's right. That's spiritual house, brother.
That's right. They don't know.
They don't know, brother. They confounded, brother.
And he said he gonna build the temple in 3 days.
Yes, we just read it. They thought he was talking, but you had fell off. But that's what we're talking about.
Yeah.
He said they talking about he's sitting up there saying, I'm gonna build in 3 days. They said, well, it took 46 years for this temple to be built. Because they don't know. The first answer that they choose is gonna be carnal.
Right.
So when the man came and asked the actual question about if he a carpenter, what did he ever build?
Yeah.
And the man sat there, he looked at the man, he was like, oh.
But see, y'all, brother, if you want to teach something else, go on down the street and teach then.
Exactly. Hold on, let's get it for him so that he can get the full Monty. So he don't think we up here pigging on him. All right. So 1 Peter 2
Well, I tell you.
And you read this
I got you, brother.
for the young man.
I got you.
So
For the kiddo.
This is 1 Peter 2 and 5.
Ye also.
I'm reading it for you. Just go ahead.
Okay.
Pulling it.
All
Ye
right.
also, as lively stones.
Stones. What are stones? What are stones, people? Stones.
What's a stone?
Remember, God wrote it with the finger on the tablet of stone.
The laws.
Table of stone.
The laws. He said the laws. That's right.
Okay.
Yeah.
Now,
Are built up a spiritual house.
okay.
Maybe
Carnal
that's
house?
what that carpenter was building.
Yeah, he was in a carnal carpenter.
Hey, Poe Christ. Poe Christ.
Are built up a spiritual house
Oh my God.
and holy priesthood.
Mm-hmm.
That's the spiritual house, y'all. The
Yeah.
priest.
Yes.
You the lively stone because you're living. You're breathing, ain't you?
That's right.
Yes.
You the walking law, man with a
The
dot.
lively.
You breathing, ain't you?
Supposed to be the lively law walking around.
That's right. To
Yeah.
offer up spiritual sacrifices.
Spiritual teachings.
Yes. Acceptable to God by Jesus Christ.
By the parable.
That's right. By the
Yes.
parables that he brought. Y'all see how
That's
simple
hard,
that
bro.
was? I hope nobody was offended by that.
Yeah, we'll go back to the other one because they got offended when they said that with Christ. Going back to that last one we had.
Hold on a second. Let me see if I can find it here. Where was we? Where was we? I don't know where it was. I think I might have just. Hold on. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, there we go.
Mark chapter 6, verse 3. Is not this the carpenter who built the spiritual house,
Mm-hmm.
the son of Mary?
The son of the doctrine of Mary.
Yes. The brother of James.
That came from the same father.
Yes. And Joseph.
Mm-hmm.
And of Judah.
When we saying father, it means the same teacher.
Okay, teacher.
And Simon.
Mm-hmm.
And are not his sisters here with us? What's a sister?
Doctrine. What's a sister? Doctrine. Yes.
That's right. That's a woman. A woman is a doctrine.
Yes.
And what happened?
And they were offered at him.
Offended.
Excuse me. And they were offended at him.
They was offended at his teaching.
Yes.
Right.
Next thing.
But Jesus said unto them, a prophet is not without honor, but in his own country,
his own congregation,
and among his own kin,
in his own way, people who speak his same doctrine,
and his own house,
and those who's all speaking the same thing together. That's what.
In that spiritual house,
they ain't got no respect for him.
In that spiritual house,
that's right.
Yeah.
Other than that, there's no respect for a prophet.
That's right. That's right. They ain't got no respect,
bro. But
go back over here to Psalms.
Yeah, I think that's it in Psalms. I think we need to go to.
We didn't finish this. We didn't finish the whole thing here. But if you want to go, we'll go. But
okay, the one that's smoother than butter, you can write. Go to Isaiah 2 and chapter 2 verse 6.
Butter.
His words are smoother than butter.
Mm-hmm. But war was in his heart.
His mind.
His words were softer than oil.
Doctrine.
Same thing.
Yet
were they drawn swords.
His tongue.
So they act like they your friend. But in truth, they trying to destroy you.
They're trying to destroy you with that tongue.
That's
he
right.
act like that butter is like he got the spiritual meat.
Yeah.
You know, go and talk the spiritual meat, but he don't have it.
Right.
He don't have
it.
Yeah, it's two types of meats, but we'll get on that in a little while.
No. Where you going to next?
Go to Isaiah 2 and 6, and I think that'll close it out. I think that's all you want it down to, right?
Yeah. That's cool. We got to understand it, because what we wanted to explain to them that they go and they portray themselves as righteous and all that other stuff. So they come and they they attack a man who rejected them, but he rejected them because they was wicked.
Gotcha.
Right.
But they coming and they saying well, the only wicked people in the world is, the white man. But the Most High letting you know that man was right to flee them because they wicked. He telling you they natural brute beasts. All right. Yeah. So where you going to next, Elder?
For King David, I want to finish that up with King David though. Go to where's it at? Psalms, 1 Samuel. Let me get it. Go to 1 Samuel 22:3. So it'll let you know David ain't talking about them other people. He talking about this person next to him in that congregation.
1 Samuel chapter 22, verse 3.
Uh-huh.
And David went thence to Mizpah of Moab. And he said unto the king of Moab, let my father and my mother, I pray thee, come forth and be with you till I know what God will do for me.
The Israelite were trying to kill him.
Yes.
His brothers were trying to kill him.
Yes. Just like these men trying to kill now. They get caught up and kill. They say, we ain't trying to kill him. They talking about we trying to do something violent to him. They don't know. Kill means hate.
They have isolated that man away from them people. He don't cut them off. Don't y'all talk to him. Don't y'all talk to him.
That's right.
They're scared they're gonna be educated.
Yes.
That's what they're scared of.
Yes. Because that man definitely he's figured some stuff out. And now what they're afraid of, because he know where the bodies is buried over there. Right. And if that man start running his mouth, they're gonna look simple. But the thing is, he ain't. You could look at the dude and tell he ain't that type of dude.
No.
That man ain't looking to hurt them people like that.
No.
The only thing that man decided was he didn't agree with that doctrine. That don't mean he hate that man.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? All he's saying is, I don't believe your doctrine no more. But do you think that man gonna get up in there and start telling all of the personal business of all of them? Man, that man kids doggone play with they
that's silly. Men
children.
don't do that. Yeah, they don't do that.
Man, that's what he doing.
Yeah.
I got a question, right? So by their logic, they say the Israelites are black, correct?
Yes.
So who offered up Jesus to be killed?
The Israelites did.
The Israelites, right? So didn't the Edomite say he see no wrong in him?
He should
tried to save the man life.
He sure did.
And then also they said that we want to release a murderer out on the street instead of taking a robber.
That's right.
So those are black folk, right?
That's right.
So it wasn't Esau that put him to death. It was you fools that put him to death.
Yes. They hated
Then y'all mock him with the purple. You put the purple on him and the crowns on him to mock him.
Thorns.
Thorns. Just like
they put the thorns on his head.
Now.
They put the thorns on his head and clothed him with purple.
Yes. That's what they doing right now.
That's right.
They doing the exact same thing to that man.
He said they're gonna crucify him the same way in Revelation. That's what they're. He is the word of God.
Right.
Spiritual interpretation.
Right.
So I don't get
the scripture. The scripture in John 6, and I get it right quick. Right. John 6. Right. This is what the scriptures say. This how we know who the man is, right? Now, and we ain't saying the man coming over here to see us and all that other stuff, because he got to go through what he got to go through, just like Paul went through. And then we'll get that a little later on in Galatians, when Paul, he had to go to Arabia first.
Hey, they could see that in the Damascus video. On the way to Damascus.
He had to go. Right.
Advertisement.
Right. But he had to go and find his way. He had to go and find his way. This thing is traumatic to this man. This man has been over there all of many years. So the last thing he want to hear is, look here, brother, you need to come over here with us. This man need to clear his head. He need to find his way. Right now, all this stuff going on got this man confused, right? But in John 5:56, read that for me, Elder.
John chapter 5, verse 56. He that eateth my flesh and drinketh my blood dwelleth in me, and I in him.
That's how we know that the man righteous, all right? We know the man righteous because now he done started eating a different doctrine, right? He done left that doctrine, that carnal doctrine that man been teaching all the many years, right? And so now he looking to try and find out what's next for him. And this is what I was talking about in Galatians. We're going to go to Galatians 1. We're going to start at 13. So you can see when a person leaves a cult, right? When he leaves a situation where he been there all that long time and the Most High start opening up his eyes. Now this man think he crazy. You know what I'm saying? Man, I just see something else. He can't go back. Remember at the beginning of this thing, as a matter of fact, I think it's, wait a minute, it's a Galatians 1:1 where he's talking about them foolish Galatians. Hold on a second. We'll talk about the foolish Galatians. Where that's at? No, man, we'll just go with what we got. Galatians 1:13. It's talking about what happened.
Galatians 3:1.
It's Galatians, yeah.
Galatians 3:1. Let's go there right quick.
Foolish Galatians.
Yeah.
You began in the spirit first.
Right. Yes. Yeah. So here it is. This is what happened to the Galatians. Once they got the spiritual understanding, they went back. Right? And this is what he's going to have to battle against. Read this, Elder.
Galatians 3:1. Yeah. O foolish Galatians, who hath bewitched you, that ye should not obey the truth, before whose eyes Jesus Christ have been evidently set forth, crucified among you.
So he's saying the Galatians, they ended up getting the understanding. The apostles came and they taught the Galatians and they believed, but they ended up falling back into the belief in the carnal. And that's the dangerous thing about somebody who comes out of a carnal doctrine like that, right? But what he's faced with now is the same thing that Paul was faced with. And we're going to start reading at verse 13 here, Galatians 1:13. Read on down there.
For ye have heard my conversation in time past in the Jews' religion.
The Jews' religion, right?
How that beyond measure I persecuted the church of God and wasted it.
He wasted the church in the carnal doctrine. That's what Deacon Ithon did. He was out there on them streets. He was using Nathaniel's doctrine, and he was wasting people's understanding with that carnal doctrine. That's what he's telling you. It's talking about Deacon Ithon. This is the next verse. Okay, there we go.
And profited in the Jews' religion above many my equals in mine own nation.
So he ended up raising up to the point where he got to the level of a deacon. Y'all see that? This same thing happened to Paul.
Mm-hmm.
Read.
Being more exceedingly zealous of the traditions of my fathers.
See that? He understood. He was zealous to learn that doctrine. He learned everything he could to the point where they started replacing the Bible with history and all that. He was exceedingly zealous to get every aspect of that doctrine out to them people.
Mm-hmm.
Verse 15.
But when it pleased God, who separated me from our mother's womb.
From his mother's womb. What's the womb?
To that?
That doctrine.
That's
What's the
right.
mother's
That's the
law?
doctrine that
Peter
he had.
1 and
The Most High
13.
separated him from his mother's womb. His mother's womb is Nathaniel doctrine.
Right.
Y'all see that? Read.
And called me by his grace.
Grace is the spiritual law.
Yes.
Grace is the spiritual law. That's what's happening to him right now.
Yes. John 1 and 6, chapter 1, verse 16 and 17. Grace.
All praises.
To reveal his son in me.
So he got the spiritual, like I say. If you eat his flesh and drink his blood, he's in you and you in him. So he revealed his son to Deacon Ithon now,
that I might preach him among the heathen.
So he said that he has the opportunity now to teach the heathen. Because remember, he believed just like them Pharisees that them heathen they couldn't get the kingdom.
Brainwashed.
Right. Read.
Immediately I conferred not with the flesh and blood.
So he's saying he lost faith in that carnal doctrine. Read.
Neither went I up to Jerusalem to them which were apostles before me.
He was in a situation where he was vulnerable. All right. Just like when Christ fasted for 40 days and 40 nights. He vulnerable. He questioning everything he knows. All right. He said he didn't immediately go to see them apostles. Right. So he ain't gonna necessarily be so quick to come see to find out what we know or what anybody else knows. Right. He gonna purge himself of the stuff that he learned, like Christ did. Soon as Christ was out there 40 days and 40 nights, here come this man talking about, hey brother, have you heard the doctrine? You's a God. We is kings and all that other foolishness. That's what happened to Christ. Soon as he done went 40 days and 40 nights, forgetting all of that foolishness he learned all of his life and was called by the Most High.
Yes.
You remember it says Satan,
he was tempted by Satan.
By that guy.
We're going to find out who Satan is.
Right.
What Elder Stephen talking about. We're going to find out who Satan is.
Right. He going to try and recruit you. Soon as you stop believing something, here come a guy come up there telling you about a new doctrine.
Right.
Now it says, before he went to, which were the apostles before me. Read on, Elder.
But I went into Arabia.
That's another doctrine. Arabia is another doctrine. I ain't saying he went to Saudi Arabia. I remember I was watching this on a documentary. Man said, and then it says he went to Saudi Arabia for some purpose. That ain't what it's talking about.
No.
He went into another Arabia is another doctrine.
Right.
Yes.
All right. Read on.
And returned again unto Damascus.
So he kept dibbling and dabbling back and forth in that carnal stuff that he learned. We was like that. We left the camps and we was still keeping the high holy days, the new moons and all that. We couldn't let it go.
We to turn toward the east and all that stuff.
All that stuff. No, we turned toward the east to pray.
Oh my God.
They couldn't live in bread.
We turned towards the prayer for Jerusalem to get the understanding of Jerusalem.
That unleavened bread. Let me make unleavened bread.
The unleavened bread.
Right, we was eating that. I'm gonna tell you something now we don't do it no more. I'll tell you something else. Your wife used to make that unleavened bread. Now that was her call.
Hey,
I'm about to tell you.
I have to agree on that, boy. That pan didn't last too long.
Yeah,
that woman could make that unleavened bread now.
Yeah, she.
We don't do. We don't follow that.
Well,
that.
Well, she can go back to making the bread.
Ain't no sin.
We'll okay, that's okay.
You know how to make that unleavened bread, boy.
So I got. So you asked a question earlier, right? You said about Deacon Ithon, you asked him what sin was he in, right?
Right.
Because let me show you what sin he wasn't in. Let's go to Sirach 21:2. Because God gave you, there's laws that'll help you even when you're wrong. You understand that? When you're sitting back and you're in sin, there's laws which you gotta when you catch yourself. God got you covered all the way around, even when it's time for you to repent. But this is what this brother did once he actually followed the law. You want to read that from me, Elder?
Ecclesiasticus, or Sirach in the Apocrypha, chapter 21, verse 2. It says, flee from sin as from the face of a serpent.
Uh-oh.
So God said, flee. Flee from sin.
Mm-hmm.
So if you sitting back and you watching a deacon, which y'all made a post saying a deacon's supposed to be blameless.
Yes.
What are your deacons just straight up blameless because you was out here teaching that you can cuss with the Bible in your hand?
Right.
You got another deacon over here teaching holy whores, getting women to cut themselves.
Yes.
You got a bishop over here talking X-rated stuff on a Bible class, supposed to be the word of the Lord, right? So you got all these people that's not blameless, and not only talking the other sins you're doing.
And you got a Deacon Asaph cut his wife out online.
Cussing your wife out, showing hatred for your own wife your ex-wife online, showing a grudge. That's a grudge. That means you're holding a grudge.
Yes.
So that means he says, flee from sin. So this man sat back and was like, yo, we are in serious sin.
That's what he's saying.
We have been teaching wrong.
Yes.
We have been blasphemy of the Holy Ghost.
Yes.
And he feared for his life.
Yes, for his
So
salvation.
Right. So the Most High God said to do what? Read it from the top, Elder, please.
Flee from sin as from the face of a serpent.
The face of a serpent, the doctrine of a liar.
That's right. That's
to and
right.
fro on the earth. Serpent go to and fro on the earth. Can't understand.
All on his belly.
A subtle beast of the field. That's him.
Creepeth on his belly.
Yes.
That's what a serpent do.
That's right.
You know?
But if thou comest too near it, it will bite.
So if you sit there eating that wicked doctrine, it can bite you.
That's right.
You can fall for that carnal doctrine. You can fall for that carnal understanding.
That's right.
You know?
The teeth thereof are as the teeth of a lion.
Of a lion. It's similar to.
Mm-hmm.
Slaying what?
Slaying the souls of men.
Because they're tearing that flesh. They're tearing up the doctrine with that carnal doctrine.
They tearing that flesh up. Let me go back here to this Galatians so we can finish this on out.
Yes.
Because it said this is to let him know what's going on in him, because people don't know this process. We went through this same process when we left them people.
Absolutely.
You gonna be in a situation where you thinking you can't naturally understand what righteousness is, especially once you done heard the spiritual doctrine. Once you understand it, you can't go back to that. That's why we went to the foolish Galatians. Man, how you gonna go back to that? You done heard what the Most High had to say. You can't go back to that.
Mm-hmm.
No, that's garbage.
But read this 18 right here, Elder.
1 and 18. After 3 years, I went up to Jerusalem.
You see that? So now y'all think it's talking about he took 3 years to make up his mind.
Mm-hmm.
That's not what it's talking about. All right. After 3 years, he done got the full understanding of the carnal. That's the 3 years it's talking about. It's not talking about he went, it was 2020 when I left. Now it's 2023. It's not talking about that.
I'm glad you explained that to her, boy. They'll be trying to go to Jerusalem. The carnal Jerusalem.
Right. He had the carnal understanding done. Now, after them 3 years, he start his new year in Jerusalem. He's starting to understand, to learn the doctrine, the doctrine. He said after 3 years, he went up to Jerusalem. Jerusalem is the spiritual doctrine. To see Peter. Peter and James is the one that's teaching the spiritual doctrine. That's what it's saying. Don't get caught in the carnal stuff, because this is what he has to do in order to get salvation. Eventually, he's got to come to somebody teaching that spiritual doctrine.
Yes.
Read.
And
And abode with him 15 days.
So now here it is, Peter. He went and he started teaching him the doctrine.
The
He
doctrine.
abode with him and he continued to teach him over time all of the spiritual understanding. At the very least, he got the understanding of how to decipher what the Bible is saying.
Honor the spiritual. Mhm.
Verse 19.
But other of the apostles saw I none, save James, the Lord's brother.
So it's saying he got two of the high level people that understood the spiritual doctrine.
Yo,
That's what he did. He went and he got those people to teach him the doctrine. And that's
Yes.
what, when you've been in, because Paul was a leader
Mhm.
with the Pharisees. He had a lot of understanding, and them people had a lot of confidence in Paul over there with them Pharisees. So it shocked them when he left,
Mhm.
right? But this is what, after you to learn that high level of the Pharisees' doctrine,
Mhm.
and then you leave that doctrine, you got to find your way to Jerusalem.
Yes.
Every man got to go through it
Everybody.
in order to find Jerusalem.
yes.
Where you
Let me
going
get-
next, Elder?
Zechariah 8:3. We're gonna back up that. Then we want to go to break down about the Judas, about that silver.
Yes, because this is the reason why they ain't gonna be able to take him back.
Yes.
He don't know it yet. They can't take him back.
They ain't gonna take him back. No. They hate him right now. That
Yes.
bishop hate him. And he gonna say he don't, but it's a lie. The Bible say you hate him. I'm going by what the Bible say.
Right. Zechariah 8:3. Thus saith the Lord, I am returned unto Zion,
Mhm.
and I will dwell in the midst of Jerusalem.
Now you think he talking about that carnal land?
No, sir.
No. He talking about this level of understanding that the people got, because he dwells in who? You.
You, correct.
Read.
And Jerusalem shall be called a city of truth.
So what's the truth? Jerusalem.
Yes.
Jerusalem.
The law is the truth.
You see that?
Jerusalem is the law.
Jerusalem is the law. Read.
And the mountain of the Lord of hosts, the holy mountain.
Oh,
Jump to 8. Since we're in that chapter.
Verse 8. And I will bring them.
He said he gonna bring them.
And
God said he gonna bring them. All right,
Yes.
read.
and they shall dwell in the midst of Jerusalem.
The doctrine. That
Yes.
is the intelligent, around the intelligent people. The intelligent people.
And he says, and they shall be my people.
Who gonna be his people? The people that's in the midst of Jerusalem.
Yes,
The doctrine.
yes. And I will be their God.
Who God? He gonna be their God.
In
These
truth,
people God. Uh-huh.
in truth and in righteousness.
See that?
Yes.
Again, the dictionary definition of truth and righteousness is different than the Bible's definition.
Yes.
Yes.
Y'all keep following them Zondervan Bible Dictionary. I'm so smart. I got the Zondervan Bible Dictionary. And he ain't said nothing about the law being the truth. Come on, man.
He
Can't
said
y'all
Jerusalem
see
is
that?
the truth.
Now, I asked the elder to explain these 30 pieces of silver. A lot of y'all don't know what Judas and the 30 pieces of silver is talking about, right? It's talking about more than what you think. It ain't talking about money,
Mm-mm.
right? That's the carnal interpretation of what it's talking about. It's talking about something very different.
Mhm.
And so, Elder, if you can just go ahead and briefly give them an understanding about Judas and these 30 pieces of silver.
And duplicate it. I appreciate it. And it's a great honor.
It is indeed.
Yes, it is a great honor. Let's go to Matthew 27:3. We're just gonna hit about 4 precepts because it's a clean cut.
Matthew chapter 27, verse 3. Then Judas, which had betrayed him, when he saw that he was condemned, repented himself and brought again the 30 pieces of silver to the chief priests and elders. That's the bishop, right?
The deacons.
Right. Saying, I have sinned in that I have betrayed the innocent blood. There you go, talking about innocent blood. That's a deacon Ithon.
Yes. You see that?
Yeah. And they said, what is that to us? See thou to that.
Read.
Talking about them 30 pieces of silver.
Yes. We're going to get to it.
And he cast down the pieces of silver in the temple.
In the temple. Read.
And departed and went and hanged himself.
Read.
And the chief priest took the pieces of silver and said, it is not lawful for to put them into the treasury.
Damn.
Yes.
Damn.
Yes.
Ain't silver calling it to put it back in his. He said, damn, these are people. We'll get to it.
Yes. Because it is the price of blood. Y'all know what blood means.
No, but we're going to break it down, Elder. Go back, because we want to go back some. Go to Matthew 26 and 15.
Where go?
Now, Matthew chapter 26, verse 15.
Matthew chapter 26, verse 15. And said unto them, what will ye give me? Now, this is Judas talking. This is Judas talking to the Pharisees. And said unto them, what will ye give me? And I will deliver him unto you.
Read.
And they covenanted with him for 30 pieces of silver.
So
they made an agreement.
They made
an agreement. Covenant mean agreement.
Yes. Go to Jeremiah 6 and 30. We're going to find out what the silver is.
Jeremiah chapter 6.
I think it's 30, ain't it?
Jeremiah 6 and 30. Reprobate silver shall men call them, because the Lord hath rejected them.
I'm just hearing heads drop right now.
So is that saying that silver are men?
Silver are men.
Yeah.
So
he wanted to have a congregation.
Yes.
Yes.
He wanted a congregation. What that thing of Ecclesiastes 7:7?
Yeah. Surely pressure make a wise man, but a gift
destroyed the heart.
That's the gift he got. That's the same gift that's destroying the men. That's why they reprobate silver, because they got the gift of that rank.
Yes.
You understand it.
Did you see that?
Where you going to next, Elder?
The same class we went over what Tobias had went over about the why Christ turned the tables over.
Yeah.
I got one. Hold on. What's that?
It was buying and selling.
But that gold and silver real quick. Let's get the difference. Can we go to Proverbs 3:13 and 14? So we show the difference. There's a difference between gold and silver, because Elder showed that reprobate is silver is reprobate. So we're gonna back
Proverbs
that up.
3 and 13, you say?
Yes, 13 and 14.
Proverbs 3:13. Happy is the man that findeth wisdom, and the man that getteth understanding.
So this is the whole thought of this whole precept right here. Next verse.
For the merchandise, now we know what merchandise is, the doctrine. All right. For the merchandise of it is better than the merchandise of silver.
So he said wisdom and understanding is better than silver. So there's levels to it. Read.
And the gain thereof than fine gold.
So getting wisdom and understanding means that you're fine gold. So silver is reprobate. So silver is beneath the understanding, full understanding, perfect understanding. That's what he's talking about.
Well, I'll pray.
You with silver understanding is beneath that which has gold.
That's right. Let's go to John 13 and let's go to 36.
John 13 and 36. Simon Peter said unto him, Lord, whither goest thou? Jesus answered him, Whither I go, thou canst not follow me, but thou shalt follow me afterwards.
Okay. Now, John, I'm sorry, John, now it was 26. Go to John 13, because I want to get to the part about they're discussing who's going to portray
when he
him.
held the bag.
Yeah. You know it, don't you?
Yeah.
You know, the elder be on it, but go to,
He trying to tell you something.
Well, we're gonna speed it up.
What you call it? Pastor himself an intellectual.
Yeah. Let's go to, because we want to put them on the path, the right path.
You want to start at 26?
Just start at 26.
29. But where you want to start
that bull?
You said what?
Yeah, 26, because I want to go ahead and break down about that sacrifice.
Okay.
Yeah.
John 13:26. Jesus answered, He it is to whom I shall give a sop when I have dipped it.
Now Christ is explaining who's going to portray him to the disciples. This what it's all about. He had said it prior to this. Keep reading.
And when he had dipped the sop, he gave it to Judas Iscariot, the son of Simon.
Gave the understanding to him. Read.
And after this,
that's what they're doing right now. They teaching at the table.
And after the sop, Satan entered into him. Then said Jesus unto him, That thou doest, do quickly.
See that? Satan, we're going to find out who Satan is. Remember that. Because remember, he got 30 pieces of silver, we read earlier, from the chief priest, bishop,
yes,
and the elders, the deacons.
Yes.
Remember? Read.
Verse 28. Now no man at this table knew for what intent he spake this unto him. So he said it in like a code type way.
That's what
he was
he
speaking
did.
in a parable, but they didn't understand that he was actually telling them it's gonna be Judas.
It's gonna be Judas.
Yes.
He said no man.
Right.
So he's speaking spiritual.
Well,
he talking to him. I'm sorry, Edda.
Go ahead.
Now he talking to him, and you know how you can have a conversation with someone like David had when he took that ewe lamb from that man. And who was that? The prophet had told David.
Nathan. It was Nathan.
Nathan. He had told him, he said, the one I'm talking about is you, David.
Right.
David said, oh, he talking over his head, but he had to catch up to his understanding.
Yes.
This how he talking to him.
Yes.
You ain't fooling nobody.
Right.
But keep reading.
Verse 29. For some of them thought because Judas had the bag.
The precept package,
That's right.
the doctrines, the
That's
scrolls.
right.
Judas thought he was smart enough to roll with Christ. Okay.
That's right.
Okay, buddy.
That's right.
So you got the scrolls in the bag, but Christ, his scrolls was right there
yes,
in his head.
that's right.
Uh-huh.
And also when it's talking about a bag is a vessel, something you hold something in, right? So he thought Judas was. He telling you Judas smart. He real smart, but he ain't smart as Christ.
Mm-mm.
All right.
Can I get a precept for bag?
Yeah.
1 Samuel 17,
Yes, sir.
49. Let's go with David and Goliath.
Yes.
Yes, the one. Yes.
Yes.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's
I was
the
thinking
one.
about that too.
Yeah, I was.
Yeah, bring it out. You see how it is, bro?
Yes.
Yeah.
First Samuel, what?
1 Samuel 17, 49.
Yeah.
That's the one.
Yeah.
Yes, sir. 17 and 9, you said?
49.
49. All right.
Am I coming through clear and loud?
No. It's just I'm a bit older, and it's
I just got this new mic.
not what it used to be.
I'm just trying to make sure my levels are good because I got this new
I'm a
mic.
shell of my former self. I can't hold you accountable for this situation. It says 1 Samuel 17 and 49.
Mhm.
And David put his hand in his bag.
It is. We got the hand is what? The doctrine, right?
Doctrine.
In his bag.
The
Mhm.
doctrine
Right.
in his bag.
Mhm.
And took thence a stone. What's
Stone
a
is a
stone?
pre-
Y'all just got stone.
That precept.
That precept. Yep.
Exodus 31:18. One of the commandments.
Yes.
Mhm.
And slang it
We taught it.
and smote the Philistine in his forehead.
Oh,
So I mean, he was dumbfounded.
Yeah, it hit him in the brain.
He was
He was
confounded.
Confounded.
That's right. That stone, the stone sunk into his forehead.
That's
So
scripture.
now
he
Yeah, he was.
understands
Yeah, he
Yes.
was thinking about that. He was like, "Dang, oh, that was good. I don't even know how to answer. I
Yeah.
can't answer that, man. God,
Yeah.
dang."
it. Have to sink it.
Yeah.
And he fell upon his face
Doctrine.
to the earth.
So he gave up his doctrine.
He
That's
gave it up,
right.
bro. Let me tell you
Now,
something,
now
bro.
it's actually a couple of verses above that. Well,
You
he
know what?
said,
I wanted him to go above that too about that
Yeah.
brass helmet.
That brass helmet.
yes,
He got his leadership on his head.
Yes.
You know, hey, David said, nah, no.
because it
can't-
says something about
I
even
can't
a
fit this.
script. The one that say even a script.
Oh, yeah, in a script. Yeah, it's right above it. Yeah, he took out a script.
Yeah,
Wait a minute. Hold tight, L. 40.
40. Okay.
Yeah.
There you go. That's it. That's the one. Verse 40.
Let me read it.
I got it. You
Okay.
just go ahead and bring it on us. You on it?
Okay.
1 Samuel 17 and 40. And he took his staff in his hand
It's doctrine.
and chose 5 smooth stones
5 smooth precepts to what he got to say.
Yes. Those
Out of
first
the brook.
5 words. Those first words. Thou shalt
Out of
have
the
no
brook.
other God before me.
Yeah. Yeah. He had them ready for him. Like, as soon as he had his question, like, he had 5 of them ready for him.
Yeah.
and put them in a shepherd's
He
bag.
said, stones out of the brook. What is
That's
the brook?
right, out of the
The
brook.
brook is the water.
The
Yes,
water.
And
He took-
put them in a shepherd's bag. Now, what's
He's
a shepherd?
Yeah.
Right.
The prophet.
That's
Yeah.
right. He a preacher.
Either
Right.
one.
That's
Yeah.
right. Which he had,
Uh,
even a script. He
Even
letting
a
you know
script.
what he put in the bag.
Y'all go right.
Even
He
in
the
script.
bag. Just
the
like
bag.
Judas the bag, he the bag.
He the
Judas
bag.
kept the bag, he
Yeah.
kept the bag.
He kept
Y'all
the
see
bag.
that? David was smart, man.
Yeah,
and
bro.
and they say Christ the son of David.
Yes.
He knew David doctrine.
He knew it.
and his sling was in his hand, and he drew near to the Philistine.
Yeah, so he had the doctrines
He
ready.
letting you know. He ain't need but about 5 of them.
Right.
That's
Like
all
I
he
say,
needed.
you get up in there just a little bit, y'all know. They get up there, they start talking that trash.
Hey,
You
but
start whittling that little doctrine down.
hey, just
Because
like
they done said one straight word.
hey, Captain Sakar said, Bishop Nathaniel gave us the
formula.
He gave us a formula. Boy, God gave you the Bible, boy. He gave you the direction, boy. That's what, hey,
That man say he gave us the formula.
he gave us the formula. God gave you life.
Okay, bro.
Oh my God,
Shame, boy.
bro. I can see David now. Thou shalt have no other God.
That's right.
Oh God.
That's right. We raising
Thou
that
shalt not make no
tabernacle up.
Moses image and bow down.
That's right.
No
That's
graven
right.
image. We're gonna get on that too, bro.
Mhm.
Right.
So
But you going back to the telling the rest of this on this the 30 pieces of silver.
yeah, the 30 piece of silver code. It's easy now for they will understand that.
Mm-hmm.
But
so John 13,
yeah, go back to
29 was
that?
where we was. That's where you want to be at?
Matthew 27, because I want to read something.
Okay.
What was that, Elder?
We was at John 13:29. That's where we stopped at.
Okay.
When it said that Judas had the bag. That's why
Okay,
he went to give you the understanding of what that bag was talking about.
Okay. What was that? John 13:29.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, yeah, that's it. I wanted to go back up to 27 and read that one.
Okay.
So we know what the silver is. The silver are the people, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
The man was going to get a congregation. He took it back to them. Say, we can't put them people back in the treasury. You see, his blood is different from this doctrine.
So now you going back to the part where he took the sop, or you going to the part?
No. Just this right here.
Okay.
I'm just explaining. Explaining what it's talking about, actually.
Verse 27. And
Uh-huh.
after the sop, Satan entered into him.
Uh-huh.
Then said Jesus unto him, that thou doest, do quickly.
Now, Satan, we're going to see who Satan is, who we talking about. Go to Acts, chapter 7, and verse 39. Remember, Judas went to have a conversation with the chief priest. We read that.
Mm-hmm.
Start at, 1 Thessalonians 2 and 15. I'm sorry, Elder.
All right.
Yeah, 1 Thessalonians 2 and 15. Because we got to find out who Satan is, right?
Mm-hmm.
All right.
1 Thessalonians chapter 2, verse 15. Who both killed the Lord Jesus. Let me go up one.
Yeah, okay.
For ye, brethren, became followers of the churches of God, which in Judea are in Christ.
Mhm.
Jesus, for ye also have suffered like things of your own countrymen,
Amen.
even as they have to the Jews,
Read on.
Mhm.
who both killed the Lord Jesus and their own prophets, and have persecuted us.
Mhm.
And they please not God, and are contrary to all men.
Now, we know who that are.
Mm-hmm.
He's talking about the Pharisees.
Yes.
Yeah.
He's talking about Baal. Read.
Forbidding us to speak to the Gentiles that they might be saved. That's exactly what they're doing now.
That's what they're doing.
To fill up their sins alway. For the wrath is come upon them to the uttermost.
Read.
But we, brethren, being taken from you for a short time in presence, not in heart.
Not in mind. You know, he writing this talking about us too right now.
Yes.
Y'all see that?
Yes.
Yeah, he talking about us that taken from us not by heart. It's meaning we understand what he's talking about.
Endeavor the more abundantly to see your face with great desire.
Your doctrine.
Wherefore, we would have come unto you, even I, Paul, once and again, but Satan hindered us.
Now, Satan hindered us. Go back up.
Yes, you just said it.
Go back a little more.
Yeah.
16. Let's see who Satan is.
Forbidding us to speak to the Gentiles.
That's who forbidding you to speak to the Gentiles. That's who Satan is. Who doing that now?
Yes. Oh, I think the prophetess to figure something out.
So who Satan is?
Who is Satan, prophetess?
Yeah, I didn't know.
I need you to unmute for me. You gotta unmute.
You see who Satan is?
It clicked.
Got it.
It clicked.
The same ones was back then.
I see Nathaniel.
You see it.
You see that
You
thing?
see it.
Everybody else
I
in that
see it.
Now who's Satan?
Carnal One West doctrine.
That's right.
Yeah.
You see who he is. That's why I told y'all. Put on the whole armor of God.
That's
Yes.
right.
You have to put on the whole armor of God to deal with them.
Yes.
Do I need to go any further who Satan is?
I think
No.
we're pretty much clear.
No.
Now, I'm going to show you something. Go to 2 Samuel. I think they about to graduate pretty soon, elders.
Yeah, they about to graduate. I think she up on it now.
Yeah, 2 Samuel chapter 2. I'm trying to 2 Samuel 20. Let me look for it.
Go ahead.
This is 2 Samuel. King David said this the only way you can defeat them. I think it's 2 Samuel 23. Yes. Go to verse 6. Start at 5. 2 Samuel 23 and verse 5. I know who they are. That's why I don't play around. I don't play around. He said, Judas, Christ said, Satan got into them, right?
Yes.
Y'all saw that? Then
Yes.
we read Acts 7:39 on down.
Yes.
It's who Satan is. Read that right there.
2 Samuel 23 and 5. Although we read 1 Timothy. Was it 1 Timothy 2? On down. We started at 1 Timothy 2 and 15 and we read down. You said
Not 1 Thessalonians.
1 Thessalonians. My fault. We read
Yes.
1 Thessalonians 2
Uh-huh.
on down.
Then we read Acts chapter 7, verse 39 on down to when it said about Satan.
Yes.
Okay. Yeah, first Thursday. You're
Yes.
right. I want to go
Yes.
to Acts 7:39 after this. This
Okay.
what it is. Yeah, you're
Okay.
right, Elder. First
Yeah, yeah.
Thessalonians chapter 2,
Yeah.
14 on down. Yeah. But read that, verse
Okay.
6. Verse 5.
2 Samuel 23 and 5. Although my house be not so with God, yet he hath made with me an everlasting covenant,
Mm-hmm.
ordered in all things and sure. For this is all my salvation and all my desire, although he make it not to grow.
Mm-hmm.
Verse 6. But the sons of Belial,
They're the Pharisees. They are the Pharisees. I done research for these people for 3.5 years. Read.
shall be all of them as thorns thrust away,
Read.
because they cannot be taken with hands.
You can't put your hands on them. On a one way you can beat these people. One way and only. One way. Read.
Verse 7. But the man that shall touch them must be fenced with iron.
You must be a prisoner of Christ. That's the prison you got to be in. Ephesians 4, 1, 3 and 1, Philemon 1 and 1, Philemon 1 and 9. Read.
And the staff of a spear.
You got to use his words, his rod, his spear, his rod. Psalms 2 and 9. Read.
And they shall be utterly burned with fire.
The word's going to come out of our mouth. Read.
In the same place.
That's the only way you got to do it. You got to use Christ's doctrine.
Doctrine.
That's the only way you can beat Belial. Now go to Acts 7:39. Y'all know who Satan is. Okay. He worse. He's worse. That's why they run from us. And I know it.
Acts chapter 7, verse 39.
Uh-huh.
To whom our fathers would, let me start at 38.
Okay.
This is he that was in the church in the wilderness with the angel, which spake to him in the Mount Sinai, and with our fathers, who received the lively oracles to give unto us.
The lively oracles are the spiritual interpretation. They're a lot deeper than just the oracles of God, the carnal. The lively oracles, the true words.
To whom our fathers would not obey.
The ones they were following at the time.
But thrust him from them, and in their hearts turned back again into Egypt.
Back in that carnal understanding. House
Yes.
of bondage.
Yes.
Read.
Saying unto Aaron, make us gods to go before us. For as for this Moses, which brought us out of the land of Egypt, we wot not what is become of him.
Go to Exodus 32 and 1.
Exodus.
Y'all got to know who Baal is.
Exodus chapter 32, verse 1.
Now remember a golden image. a molten image, right?
And when the people saw that Moses delayed to come down out of the mount, the people gathered themselves together unto Aaron and said unto him, Up, make us gods.
What? Make us what?
Gods.
But this is the calf,
Yes.
the molten image. Read. They've been doing this even in, we can go back in the spiritual world. This is carnal reading right here. But read.
But it's talking about now.
Just now.
Make us gods, which shall go before us.
Say, make us gods that will go before us. Meaning, let them be our leaders.
Yes.
You see that? Read.
For as for this Moses, the man that brought us up out of the land of Egypt, we wot not what is become of him. And Aaron said unto them, Break off the golden earrings.
Stop. We got to come right back to here, Elder. Go to Hosea 2 and 13. Let's see who the golden earrings are.
Hosea 2:13.
Golden earrings, remember? Read.
And I will visit upon her the days of Balaam, wherein she burned incense to them.
Uh-huh.
And she decked herself in her earrings
Uh-huh.
and her jewels.
Uh-huh.
And she went after her lovers
Uh-huh.
and forgot me, saith the Lord.
Now, Balaam.
Mm-hmm.
Go back to Exodus 32 and 2. Remember that word Belial, and Beliapor. They're the same ones.
Verse 2. And
Uh-huh.
Aaron said unto them, break off the golden earrings.
Them leaderships that was in their ear, they considered them gold teachers. They was in their ear all the time teaching them. He said, bring them to me. Your leaderships. Aaron said, bring those vainglory thugs that teaching you in your ear.
Yeah.
They considered them being gold. Bring them to me. Read.
Which are in the ears of your wives.
See that? Your doctrines.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Of your sons.
Your sons. Read.
And of your daughters.
Read.
And bring them unto me.
Say, bring them thugs to me. Read.
And all the people break off the golden earrings.
They bringing them thugs to Aaron. Read.
Which were in their ears, and brought them unto Aaron.
You see that? They was in their ear preaching out.
Now, y'all know who Aaron represent. That's the carnal.
That's the carnal.
Because now you got Aaron, and now you got Melchizedek. He's saying this the leadership of the carnal. He describing.
Yeah.
Y'all see that? Verse 4. And he received them at their hand.
Doctrine.
And fashioned it with a graving tool.
That doggone, I'm going to give you the precept for the fashion it. Exodus 20, verse 3 through 5. They molten the golden image.
Mm-hmm.
Thou shalt not make no molten image and bow down before it.
Yeah.
That's them.
Yes.
Y'all see that?
Yes.
Deuteronomy
He also says, like I forget where it is, but the Most High say he want them to build the altar, and he said, don't use no tool.
Jeremiah 23:29.
You defile it.
That hammer.
Yes.
Don't use your doctrine.
Right.
Jeremiah 10.
You remember we had that class about the tree?
Yes, that's what he said. Jeremiah 10.
Jeremiah 10.
Yes. That's what they're doing right now. They making that tree.
Yeah.
Bam. That forest. That's a whole forest of. I see trees walking.
That's it. They sure walking. And they done made that golden image.
They sure have.
That's that church they done set up.
Yes.
After he had made it a molten calf.
Mm-hmm.
And they said, these be thy gods, plural.
See, the calf is them.
Yeah. It's plural.
Plural.
Gods with an S at the end.
Right now, Numbers 14 and 15, they're as one man as a unit.
Yeah.
Numbers 14, verse 15, they move as a unit.
O Israel,
Mm-hmm.
which brought thee out of the land of Egypt.
Uh-huh.
So and matter of fact, that's what they saying. They saying we brought y'all out of Christianity and all them other doctrines that y'all was in. We the one who brought y'all out of. You see what I'm saying? It's telling you what they do. They try and make it seem like you gonna get salvation through them.
Mm-hmm.
Verse 5, and when Aaron saw it, he built an altar before it.
Mm-hmm.
And Aaron made proclamation and said, tomorrow is a feast to the Lord.
Mm-hmm. Meaning to be taught, you know, to the Lord.
Yeah, feast, eat, mean, learn.
Mm-hmm.
And they rose up early on the morrow. That means when we started talking about early, rising early, that means he started teaching them.
Mm-hmm.
All right? He's saying morrow instead of morning, but it means the same thing. Y'all got that? So he started teaching that new doctrine that they done came up with. All of them elders came up with. Y'all see that?
Yes.
And offered burnt offerings. That's them people.
They doing that right now for them.
Yes.
That's they burnt offering, they peace offerings, old leadership. Leadership. That's their peace offering, praising them now.
Yes, that's right. What does this mean? Can you give me a precept for this? Yeah, that's what they're doing.
That's what they're doing.
And brought peace offerings, and the people sat down to eat.
You my bishop. You my bishop.
Right.
Nathaniel is my bishop. All praise to the Most High for Bishop Nathaniel. He the general. He the Moses now. I seen that. I had to read all this stuff.
Hey, remember now, you remember that time when he got sick and they showed that video of him coming back and all that them people was in there weeping for Tammuz up in there. You don't remember that? They had that video, them like, yes.
No, joking.
They was weeping for Tammuz.
Oh my God.
Yes. I'm telling you, the thing they don't have it up. I don't know if they got it up there no more. But when that man came back, all them people they were sitting there, the tears just streaming down their eyes, and they're like, I'm the mouth say, "Oh Lord, they weeping for Tammuz."
Yes,
that's right. All the prophecies that came to pass, they don't see it.
They don't see it, brother. That we study. I studied any part of the Bible, and I know those other. What King David was doing in Psalms 83. Psalms 83 is very easy to break down. Those people were lifting up their head. They didn't want to worship the Most High God of Israel. Right. But if they wanted to come over to Israel and be a student, servant is a student.
Yes.
For the Most High. Servant. King David was circumcising them for the Most High. Right. He didn't care what nationality. Come over. And he made the mistakes when he numbered. He separated the people by counting them. You Israel, you not Israel. You Israel, and he found out that was a mistake. King David repented from that. So what he did, he started classes. You don't decide who's Israel, King David. God decides who's Israel. Right. That's why he was mad with King David. And he made all them people stupid again because they got vexed. He didn't kill the old people carnally. They were walking around stupid. Like Nathaniel doing the same thing now. You Israel. Now you ain't Israel. You Israel. You ain't Israel. What? You don't know who Israel. Isaiah 48 and 18, it said, Jacob, you should have listened. Now I'm getting somebody else. So I know what the precepts are. We know what the precepts are. But go ahead, Elder.
That thing about what he just said when David numbered them people. Remember, the Most High said David couldn't build the temple because he had blood on his hands. Y'all see that now? That's making sense now? That's what it's talking about. It ain't talking about he was in a lot of wars. He killed a lot of people. That ain't what it's talking about.
No, that ain't what it's talking about.
That ain't what it's talking about. They don't understand what the words mean. Y'all know what blood means. He put his own doctrine in there.
Yes.
He put his tool on that altar.
Yes.
Y'all see that? All right.
We'll have that class. Because I really want to break down about that. And I go through it fast, but then I touch back on it. But y'all got to see what King David and Solomon was doing. Yeah. It was beautiful, man. It's beautiful how they were uniting people. All walks of life. It's beautiful.
Verse 6, and they rose up early on the morrow and offered burnt offerings and brought peace offerings. So
to their leadership.
They was learning, they was letting them people scrutinize their doctrines,
Yes.
their leadership that they put up there. And the people sat down to eat. The people learned it. And to
Yes.
drink. They learned that doctrine.
They
Right,
learned
that the
it.
men was given.
Yes.
And rose up to play. So now they following a different doctrine.
See that?
Just that quick. They
Yes.
talk about, well, this mean that they was out there having orgies and all.
No.
So they saw that, the Ten Commandments put that foolishness out there.
Yes.
Y'all remember on the Ten Commandments, Moses came down and the lady was up in there,
They ain't do
like they was in some kind of orgy or something.
that. No.
Shaking and dancing and all that other stuff. That ain't what it's talking about.
They and those men, they doctrine.
Yes.
They're in the bed
Started
with that
following the
doctrine now.
men's doctrine. That's what happened. They, like you say, okay, Jerusalem is above, is free.
Uh-huh.
Well, now they got these men doctrine. Rose these men doctrine up above Jerusalem.
Yes.
Y'all see that? That's what it's talking about. It ain't talking about there was no orgy going on.
No, they ain't nothing like
The
that.
people don't understand what the scripture's saying.
No.
All right. That's what that Ten Commandments, boy, that Ten Commandments got a lot of people messed up.
Oh man, God.
That
Bro, I had to go through my mind and purge out a lot of
You
stuff.
got to
man.
purge all that foolishness.
Yeah. bro.
Everything they telling you wrong.
Oh man.
You sitting up in that dark, like, now what happened in the movie? Nah, that's verse 7. And the Lord said unto Moses, Go, get thee down, for thy people, which thou broughtest out of the land of Egypt, have corrupted themselves.
See that?
It don't take much.
It don't
When
take
people
much, bro.
first start listening and start learning the doctrine,
Yes.
some dude will come over there and they'll be still watching them old, videos and all that. Next thing you know, they done converted back to that old man.
Yes, bro.
It's that simple.
Because
It's
you
real
find that
easy.
a carnal man in you all the time.
That's right.
Yeah.
You got to fight him. That's your enemy.
Yes.
Verse 8. They turned aside quickly out of the way.
That's
which
what
I
you were just
commanded
saying.
them.
That's what you just saying.
Just that quick. That it turned back to what they believed before.
Esau the devil. Okay.
Yes.
They're gone.
Right. Exactly. That quick. They have made them a molten calf,
See that?
have worshipped it, and have sacrificed thereunto, and said, These be thy gods.
That molten image is
Yes.
them united together. Numbers
Yes.
14 and 15.
He even it's in his name, man. Israel United. Most High, he say he gonna laugh at their calamity. Everything,
bro,
you
we
starting
laughing
to see
now.
everything about them is comedic. They don't
Yeah.
even know everything they saying. The Most High is comedic. It's comedic to the Most High, cause they doing stuff they don't know why they did it. But the Most High say you gonna manifest, and everything they did, the Most High showing you that's exactly what they were supposed to do.
Yes. You finish it up, Elder.
That
was it.
Let me finish the last of these. Is these be thy gods, O Israel, which have brought thee out of the land of Egypt?
See
They
that?
took the Most High credit.
They took the Most High credit. That go to Acts 7, verse 39.
You know you just read that now.
Then we didn't finish reading it. Go 41.
Okay, you want
Yeah,
40?
41. Yeah, 41.
Okay.
Yeah. We went to that. Yeah.
Acts 7:41. And they made a calf in those days
See that? It's going to tell you who the calf is pretty soon. Read.
and offered sacrifice unto the idol.
That idol, Numbers 14 and 15, they're united as one.
Mhm.
Read.
And rejoice in the works of their own hands.
See, the works are doing their works. They ain't doing the works of Abraham.
Right.
They're doing the works of their own doctrine.
Yes.
Mhm.
Verse 42. Then God turned and gave them up to worship the host of heaven.
You see that? They elevated. Psalms
Yes.
148 and 1. Now, they the star
Yes.
the moon,
Yes.
and the sun.
That's right.
Oh, yeah.
The sun represents Ecclesiastes 7:11.
Yes.
The moon represents Psalms 89, verse 34 through 37. And you know what the star is? A star is a man.
Yes.
Like Christ said, he the star of David, came
Yes.
out of the star of David,
Yes.
a man,
Yes.
you know. So
Yes.
a star is man. So
Yeah.
when you go back here, Acts 7:42 now. Oh, go ahead, Elder.
42, right?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, and getting back to that sun and moon, those things mean wisdom and understanding, all right? So he's telling you, it's the leadership, they elevated, and they got the characteristics of wisdom and understanding. At least that's what they telling you. You know, by the way that they tell they lie, you think, oh man, he got a lot of understanding. That's what they doing. They got the people fooled into believing that they worshiping God, but they actually worshiping the host of heaven, which are those men. Heaven is rulership. All right, heaven is
Wrong
rulership.
and wrong.
Yes, that is. Stay in the milk, brother. Stay
Yeah,
in
I
that
got
milk, brother.
a precept to back up what you were saying about the star. So people would you can't just leave that by, because I know you explained about it being a
Yes.
man. Let's go to Numbers 24:17.
Yeah, gotta get that. Yeah.
Let's get
Like the corners of Moab. Yeah. Thank you, Elder. You got to give it to him.
Yes, because I don't want nobody to be like, no, how's a star a man?
It's in Numbers 24:16.
Yeah,
17.
Numbers 24:17.
All right. Numbers 24:17. And the sight of
You're
the
in the wrong
glory
one,
of the Lord.
Numbers.
Oh man,
Yeah.
I'm in Exodus.
Yeah, it's okay, sir.
It's
Again.
okay.
I've had
You
some.
got gray hair. We understand.
Gray hair and don't care.
That is.
That's right. Everybody over here got gray hair now.
Yeah, mine coming in.
Right.
Yeah, getting-
So we got to excuse everybody now.
Yes.
Right.
Yeah.
Salt and
Except
pepper.
Sis ain't got gray hair, but we got it.
Yeah,
Yeah,
plenty.
We understand, bro.
Numbers 24:17. I shall see him, but not now. I shall behold him, but not nigh.
So he says him both times, right?
Mm-hmm.
Come on.
There shall come a star out of Jacob.
A star out of Jacob.
That's
Uh-huh.
him.
So Jacob is a people. Am I right, carnally?
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
So a star coming out of Jacob. So, you know, star is in the sky. So and it's capitalized. So it's automatically talking about a doctrine.
Mm-hmm. And a scepter shall rise out of Israel.
Scepter is leadership, right?
Yes.
Mhm.
They'll come out
And
of Israel.
and shall smite the corners of Moab
Smite the doctrine of Moab, the Moab doctrine
and destroy all the children of Sheth.
of Sheth. They're going to destroy that doctrine as well. So it's showing
That's
you a
right.
star as a person, like
That's
Elder said.
all praise to the Most High. That smite, when people read that, they'll think that's war killing somebody. Yeah, you're
Nah.
going to kill the old man of them. But go to
Exactly.
Psalms 141 and where is that at? Psalms 141 and 5. Is it 5?
I can't remember.
Yeah, Psalms 141 and 5. This how you gonna smite them. Now you a holy man. This how you supposed to do it. And a holy woman. This how you supposed to do it.
Psalms 141 and 5. Let the righteous smite me.
That's what we do.
It shall be a kindness.
You see that? So they ain't
That-
over there killing each other. Of course they had battles and somebody end up dying because people couldn't control themselves. But going after physical fighting out to, they was going out to convert those people, not to kill old people, murder those people. Read.
Oh,
Let him reprove me.
Correct me.
correct me.
It shall be an excellent oil
Yes.
which
That
shall
oil,
not.
that oil, what he's talking about is words putting in your lamp. You
Yes.
the lamp.
Yes.
So you can light up the world with the spiritual interpretation. Good words.
Which shall not break my head.
Mm-hmm. See, the oil come from fat, the spiritual interpretation that he gonna put in you. Because you the light of the world. That's what the oil is. That's what he anoint you with. The spiritual interpretation. Uh-huh.
For yet my prayer also shall be in their calamities.
So that's how he's supposed to smite them. So what we need to go back to Acts 7 now?
Mm-hmm.
Uh-huh. Because I want to show y'all what they have built over there.
Acts chapter 7, verse 42. Then God turned and gave them up to worship the host of heaven.
See that?
As it is written in the book of the prophets. O ye house of Israel, have ye offered to me slain beasts and sacrifices by the space of 40 years in the wilderness?
Slain beast.
See that?
Brother?
See, because that they don't know they're in the wilderness now, right?
Yeah, they don't even know.
So he's sitting up in there saying, what he's saying is, y'all, 40 is a number of completion.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So he telling you, y'all done went completely carnal.
Yes.
Y'all sitting up in here, because they sitting up in there saying, well, we got the light. We got the light. But you still in the wilderness. You ain't got no understanding. So you got these people offering these carnal beasts to the Most High. He ain't accepting that no more.
Mm-hmm.
That's what it's telling you.
Yes.
See that?
Yes.
Because we back in the wilderness. We lost the doctrine. We
Yes.
forgot the doctrine.
If you out of Jerusalem, you're in the wilderness.
Yes, that's correct.
Period. You're in the wilderness. You're on your way getting your path, picking up breadcrumbs.
Right,
But once you get in Jerusalem, oh my God.
right. You want the next verse?
Yes, sir. Yeah,
Yay.
that's it.
Okay,
That's it right there,
Okay.
743.
okay. You want to read it?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Yea, ye took up the tabernacle of Moloch.
See that?
And Moloch, that's following another doctrine.
You doing a similitude of what
Yes.
the Moabs was doing.
Yes.
He's
yes.
telling you, you doing the same thing.
Yes, it's a similitude. It
It's a
ain't talking
similitude.
about, because, everything they so-called got the name of every race and all that. Look, Moloch ain't necessarily talking about, that's talking about the Chinese people. Oh, that's
Yeah,
no, that ain't what that's talking about. It's a similitude.
It's a similitude. You the Christmas tree. What you
Yes.
telling people not to do, you doing it.
Yes, correct.
You replaced it with you now,
Yea,
yourself.
you took up the tabernacle of Moloch and the star of your god Remphan.
That's who he is now.
Mm-hmm.
Read.
Figures which ye made to worship them.
Uh-huh. Figures.
Mm-hmm. And I will carry you away beyond Babylon.
Back in Egypt. House of bondage. Psychological prison. Deuteronomy 4 and 14 and 15. Yeah, you can stop it right there because we're going to find out what this is right here. He said the figures which ye made to worship them. The figures.
The what?
You say Deuteronomy 4:14?
Yes, sir.
Deuteronomy chapter 4, verse 14. And the Lord commanded me at that time to teach you statutes and judgments, that ye might do them in the land whither ye go over to possess it.
And your spirit's supposed to pour out what the Most High taught you and teach the people.
Verse 15. Take ye therefore good heed unto yourselves, for ye saw no manner of similitude
See that?
in that day, on the day that the Lord spake unto you in Horeb out of the midst of the fire.
Read on.
Lest ye corrupt yourselves and make you a graven image the similitude of any figure.
See that? Figure. The similitude of any figure. That's what they done.
Yes.
That's
figure
why
is
he
a
call
man.
him. What's the elder?
That figure is a man. You done made a similitude. Whenever he talking about like you said, Moloch. All right. You thinking Moloch is a statue, right? Some statue, like, a lot of these different nations, they worship statues of Buddha and Krishna and all that other stuff. Well, he's telling you gonna make an image, right? Mm-hmm. He says it's gonna be the similitude of Buddha or Krishna, except they're gonna be walking
and talking and teaching.
That's what he's saying. It's gonna be a human being that they worshiping. He ain't talking about no statue. They think it's talking about a statue, but he talking about a man. Okay, the similitude of any figure, the likeness of male or female.
Okay, now we go over this all the time, but I know it's cutting right there. But go back, and I want you to read this last part, elder. Again, I'm sorry, Acts 7, verse 43. I know the elders get it, but we doing this for the other congregation, the other people that is not actually with us. You know what I mean? At this moment, giving this class, so it's for the viewers.
Yea, this is Acts 7:43. Yea, ye took up the tabernacle of Moloch and the star of your god Remphan, figures which ye made to worship them, and I will carry you away beyond Babylon.
Back in the house of bondage, psychological prison, Egypt, Acts 7, verse 39. But go to Amos chapter 5 and verse 25.
But y'all see where it's still saying figures, right? He calling these men that's running these churches Moloch and Remphan.
Yes.
He's saying they figures which you worship, which you made to worship them. You went and made this man your God, because he told you a couple of scriptures. The next thing you know, he God. Well, you got to go through him to get to God and all this other old foolishness.
Yes.
That's what he's telling you. Where we going to, elder?
Go to Amos chapter 5 and verse 25. And we're going to read 25 and 26 to back up that about the tabernacle of Moloch, the Chihan. It's the same person.
Amos chapter 5, verse 25. Have you offered unto me sacrifices and offerings in the wilderness 40 years, O house of Israel?
So he talking to Israel, right? Yeah. Okay, read on.
But ye have borne the tabernacle of your Moloch and Chion.
The same thing.
Your images.
Yes.
The star of your God. Didn't we just read that the star was a man?
Yes.
We just read it.
Y'all saw that? My wife said it too. That's him. Now,
which ye made to yourselves. Y'all put that man in charge. Y'all worshiping that man. He telling you.
He telling you. Now, also, verse 27 said, because you went past beyond Damascus. We know that doctrine.
Yes.
Verse 27.
Therefore, I will cause you to go into captivity beyond Damascus. Saith the Lord, whose name is the God of hosts.
See,
he took the doctrine away.
He took the doctrine away.
Captivity. He said, I can't deal with that, man. It's a game. Y'all sitting up here, got these men, y'all worshiping these men, talking about you love me. So, man, I'm sick of y'all. Let him go ahead and let him give you the king.
Go to Isaiah chapter 14 and 10. Start at 9. Yeah. 14:9, Elder.
Isaiah 14:9. Hell from beneath is moved for thee to meet thee at thy coming.
Uh-huh.
It stirreth up the dead for thee.
Yeah.
Even,
People walking dead.
even all the chief ones of the earth.
The carnal understanding people.
It hath raised up from their thrones all the kings of the nation.
Uh-huh.
And they shall speak and say unto thee, art thou also become weak as we?
That's what's about to happen. Read.
Art thou become like unto us?
That's what's about to happen. Read.
Thy pomp is brought down to the grave.
The pride goes before destruction. Psalm 18:16. Pride goes before destruction. All that pomp is coming. It's gonna leave. Read.
And the noise of thy vows.
Mm-hmm. All that singing
doctrine.
You're doing right now.
Yeah, all them
Read.
doctrines. We're talking about instruments, talking about doctrines.
Doctrines, yeah.
The worm is spread under thee. Worm.
Wait a minute. Who's the worm?
Jacob. Jacob.
Who's the worm?
That's right.
Go to Isaiah 41:14. Who's the worm?
That's right.
They all over that tree. We know about the carnal part.
Yeah.
But what's the spiritual part, what it's talking about?
Fear not, thou worm Jacob.
So who's the worm?
Jacob.
The carnal understanding man.
Right.
Yeah, yeah.
He don't want to kill that old man to become Israel. See that?
Mm-hmm.
But go back to 11 again, Elder. 14 and
Isaiah 14:11.
Mm-hmm.
Thy pomp is brought down to the grave,
Mm-hmm.
and the noise of thy vows.
Mm-hmm.
The worm is spread under thee,
Jacob.
and the worms cover thee.
All over him.
Mm-hmm. Eating that doctrine up.
They eating it up.
Mm-hmm. How art thou fallen from heaven?
How you was once elevated. Now you're falling. Read.
O Lucifer,
What they call him?
Lucifer,
Read on.
son of the morning.
See that? Read.
Morning, talking about teaching.
Uh-huh.
So he telling you, people ain't listening to his doctrine no more.
They ain't listen to her.
How art thou cut down to the ground,
Carnal.
which
Genesis
didst weaken
27.
the nations?
Mm-hmm.
Verse 13. For thou hast said in thine heart.
Your mind. It said your mind. He ain't talking about no spaceship, man.
Right. I will ascend into heaven.
He talking about he gonna be elevated into heaven, be in leadership position. Psalms 148 and what? 1.
1. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Read.
I will exalt my throne above the stars of God.
Who the stars, brother? We just read about the stars.
They're a man.
24:17.
Yes.
The man. They ain't talking about no corner doggone stars up there.
Talk about them satellites. Talk about satellites.
But
Esau got satellites. That's talking about them satellites. Man, shut up.
shut up. Read all the elder.
I will sit also upon the mount of the congregation.
He doing it, ain't he?
Yes.
Read.
In the sides of the north.
New York. Read.
You know, now sides translates to doctrine. It translates into doctrines.
I can see that.
Let me see if I can find it.
I can see that. Because I'm going to tell you something. If what time is it?
It's 507.
Okay, because I don't want to hold Elder up too much, because I'll break down some of that bull then if we got time. We'll see.
We cool. Hold on.
Because those sides, doctrines.
First, we're going to go to Sirach 30. Sirach 30 and verse 12. Side is doctrine.
Sirach 30, I got you. 30 verse 12. Bow down his neck while he is young, and beat him on the sides while he is a child. Lest he wax.
It's talking about bones now, okay? The sides, that's his bones. Right?
Okay.
Read on.
Lest he is wax stubborn and be disobedient unto thee, and so bring sorrow to thine heart.
Yes, we also gonna go to Proverbs 23. We're gonna go to Proverbs 23. Thirteen and 14.
Isaiah 23:13. Withhold not correction from a child, for if thou beatest him with the rod, he shall not die.
The rod is the doctrine, all right?
Doctrine. Yeah.
Okay. Read on.
Thou shalt beat him with the rod, and shalt deliver his soul from hell.
They're talking about beating him on his side. That's the same. That's a precept of what we just read. Now, there's one more, and they don't teach this one like this.
Hold on. This don't mean beat your children.
No, it ain't talking about that.
No.
It's talking about it like smoked.
This
like
disclaimer, people.
Remember he said earlier to smite somebody.
Right. See, everybody likes to sell you that carnal doctrine, telling you that this scripture validates you beating your children.
No, it don't.
That's
the
not
rod
what God
is
said.
the doctrine. The rod is the doctrine. It ain't talking about grabbing a stick and beating somebody with it. The rod.
You see how this spiritual interpretation, when it got lost, people all messed up, man.
Yeah. Because they think that mean that you're supposed to be beating your youngins. You know, on every occasion. You know, you mess around and doggone hurt that child.
Yes.
Going to John chapter 20. It's a famous little scripture that people don't know is what it's talking about. They thinking something supernatural going on, but that ain't what's happening.
Something carnal.
Read that.
And thus said he to Thomas, reach hither thy finger, and behold my hands, and reach hither thy hand, and thrust it into my side.
Yeah.
And be not faithless, but believing.
Now the thing ain't saying that the man went. Man, can you imagine? You got this friend. He come back from the dead, and the first thing he said, "Come over and put your hand in this wound on my side."
Yeah.
Do you think you'd be willing to do that? It's so ridiculous, man.
It's so ridiculous, man.
But the thing is, it said, reach thy finger. Now, you know that's a member. Now, you got your own doctrine. He said, reach your finger and behold my hands. Okay, his doctrine, right? He said, give me your finger and now you going to take on my doctrine.
Your doctrine, your finger is the doctrine, and the part of the body. That's what Elder's saying. The finger is the doctrine.
Right. Reach hither thy hand. The hand is a member. That's a doctrine too. Thrust into my side, my doctrine. And be not faithless. So once you get my doctrine, you ain't gonna be faithless no more. But believing. That's what it's saying. They ain't talking about. It ain't talking about. These people think that it's actually saying that the man is Christ is walking around and all. What's happening is these men is remembering, like they remember that. Let's get to it. Acts. Yeah, Acts 2. So y'all can see what's going on. This is the stuff that's going on after Christ died. All right. We're gonna go to Acts 2. So y'all can see it ain't talking about Christ actually walking around and all that other stuff. All right. About this day of Pentecost. All right. After Christ died, what they was doing, they was meeting in this upper room and they were trying to figure out the stuff that Christ had taught them, because they had to go and teach it. It ain't talking about some magical, thing happening and all that other. They ain't talking about that. They teach it supernatural.
Yes.
Read this, Elder.
Got you. And it reads, Acts 2:1. And when the day of Pentecost was fully come, they were all with one accord in one place.
Pentecost, that's a doctrine. All right. They all on one accord in one place. That means they all understanding the same thing as far as this doctrine is concerned.
Yeah,
right? They got the same understanding.
They bring in their meat offering. That's what Pentecost. They understand it.
Yes.
That's what that's what Pentecost is. The understanding.
Yes.
Yes. To the table.
Yes.
Yeah. That's what we're doing now.
Yes.
Yes.
Verse 2.
And suddenly there came a sound from heaven.
That means it's something spiritual.
As of a rushing mighty wind.
What's a wind?
Every wind of doctrine.
Doctrine.
It's a doctrine.
Yeah.
Read on.
And filled all the house where they were sitting.
So now it's telling you that house, their congregation, it's where they were sitting. Sit mean learn. Christ told them people to sit on the ground when he started teaching them. So they in this house. It ain't talking about like on 25th Street. It's talking about their congregation.
And the understanding.
Right?
Yeah.
Right. They all getting the understanding, because so they going over the stuff Christ taught them before he died.
That's right.
All right. Verse 3.
And there appeared unto them cloven tongues like as of fire.
Fire is the word.
The word.
That mean they cloven mean is full.
Yeah.
They know all the different doctrines.
Yeah.
They understand the 4 rivers. He telling you Christ taught them the 4 rivers. They know everything.
They know it.
Y'all see that? They getting their doctrine straight.
Yes.
Read on.
For wind also is Ephesians 4:14.
That's the wind of doctrine.
Wind of doctrine, and because I don't want nobody saying that we ain't giving precepts. Genesis 8:1. God made the wind to pass over the earth. And the waters to swage. So
the word.
Word. Acts 2:3.
8:1, Ephesians 4:14.
Yes. And there appeared unto them cloven tongues like as of fire.
They got the word, spiritual doctrine. Read.
And it sat upon each of them.
They all learned the spiritual doctrine. They all had the same doctrine. What's that thing where it say, y'all got to speak the same thing?
I think it might be in the same chapter.
No, it's doggone it.
I know what you're saying.
Is it 1 Corinthians 1? 1 and 10, something like that. I think it's 1 Corinthians 1 and 10. So you have to speak the same thing. That's where they at with it. They all speaking the same thing.
Yes, you are 100% correct.
Okay.
Yes.
All right.
Receptacle.
Verse 4.
Verse 4. And they were all filled with the Holy Ghost.
They all got the spiritual understanding.
Spiritual interpretation.
They compared notes to all of the stuff that Christ had taught them, and they all had the same doctrine.
Yes.
And
began to speak with other tongues.
Like I said, the tongue that we speak, we say that the law is the truth. The tongue that Noah Webster got say truth mean not telling a lie.
Right.
It's a different speech. The Most High say your spiritual doctrine is going to be a different speech. That's the tongue that he's talking about.
Then it tells you in Isaiah, another speech, another tongue, shall you speak to these people?
Yes. Read on.
Verse 4. And they were all filled with the Holy Ghost and began to speak with other tongues.
They began to speak that spiritual law. Read.
As the Spirit gave them utterance.
The understanding that they got, the word, gave them the ability to understand and preach it. That's all I needed.
Okay.
God praise. Going back to Isaiah 14 and
13.
Yeah.
Right. But that's what I know now. Whenever we was talking about when Thomas thrust his that's what it was. It was in John. When it said about him thrusting his hands into his side, that was them in the upper room. All right. That's Christ. They teaching the word. They trying to come together so that they can get the doctrine straight, so that they all teaching the same thing. Thomas didn't believe in the doctrine. So what they did was they went and they retaught Thomas so he understood Christ's doctrine. That's what it's talking about. It ain't talking about no man sticking his hand in an apparition side.
No, he talking about doctrines, his doctrine with his doctrine and his doctrine with that doctrine.
They were showing him what Christ had taught so that he could know that the doctrine that Christ left them was right. Okay, that's all it was. He had some doubts about some of the stuff he learned. They corrected his understanding. That's all that's talking about. That man ain't put his hand in no man's side. Come on,
ain't no man doing that.
Come on, man.
Ain't no man gonna put their hand on nobody's thigh either.
No.
Is that Kalima shook the day? Kalima shook the day. I'm gonna reach in your chest.
Whatever.
Oh, Indiana Jones.
Isaiah 14 to 13. But thou hast said in thine heart, I will ascend into heaven.
Be elevated. Psalms 148 and 1.
I will exalt my throne above the stars of God.
You see, Elder King Johanna brought out Numbers 24 and 17.
Yes. I will sit also upon the mount of the congregation.
The mount is the nation. Of the congregation.
In the sides of the north, in the doctrines of the north. That means he ain't got Most High doctrine.
Yes, doctrines of the north.
He say Most High say his was like East of Eden or something like that.
Sirach 42 and 5 is another one for side.
Okay.
42 and 5.
No, you ain't got to go there. You can keep going. I'm just letting you guys know for side. It explains it. I can read it for you. It says at Sirach 42 and 5, and of merchants in different selling, of much correction of children, and to make the side of an evil servant to bleed. So he's not talking about stabbing you on the side.
No, his understanding.
Right. His blood is the doctrine.
Yeah. Now this part right here is juicy right here. Now the clouds are the elders.
Yes.
It's us. It's us. That's why he running.
Yes. Yeah,
we got to understand it. The clouds give out water, right? Right?
Yes.
You remember when Elijah, he prayed to the Most High, and he prayed to stop the rain.
Yes.
To bring the rain.
Yes.
What he did, he confounded the people.
Yes.
They couldn't get no more water out from that doctrine anymore.
Yes.
Nathaniel is a cloud for them.
Yes.
So when we confounded Nathaniel and the rest of them guys over there, they don't want to get them folks that doctrine and water no more.
Nah.
You see that? Nah. So that's why they're teaching every kind of subject now. You see that?
Yes, I got some precepts for
for cloud. Yeah, okay, I got precepts too, but go ahead, Elder.
Yeah, we'll go to Job. I'll get you 2 out of Job, so that'll be real quick. Job 36 and 28. Hold on here.
Job chapter 36, verse 28. Which the clouds do drop and distill upon man abundantly.
Verse 29.
Also, can any understand the spreadings of the clouds or the noise of his tabernacles?
His
tabernacle of his
Yeah.
tabernacle.
Y'all see that? We're
Yes.
gonna go over one more
Job,
chapter.
Job got it, but Job was putting them precepts in.
That's right. Always go to Job. Job is the
Yeah,
man.
Job got it.
Job 37:15. Read that.
Dost thou know when God disposed them and caused the light of his cloud to shine?
Light,
Yeah.
understanding. See there?
The
He
cloud
actually
to
got-
shine. What cloud shining?
Right. He actually got one more at 38.
Oh, keep reading down. Actually, stay right there and read right down. Let's go
All
explain. Right where you at? Hold on.
37:15.
No, go back up to the top. Because he was just talking about it at the very top. No, the very first one. 37:1.
37:1. Oh, okay.
Yeah. I just saw it right when you clicked it. At this also my heart trembleth and is moved out of place. First. Hear attentively the noise of his voice and the sound that goeth out of his mouth. He directed it under the whole heaven and his lightning unto the ends of the earth. Like thundering bolt. After it, a voice roareth. He thundereth with the voice of his excellency, and he will not stay them when his voice is heard. So it's talk about a storm. God thundereth marvelously with his voice. Great things doeth he which we cannot comprehend. For he saith now to the snow, be thou on the earth, likewise to the small rain, and get to the great rain of his strength. So it's showing you what the rain is.
Yes.
He sealed up the hand of every man, that all men might know his work.
Right. Work his hand.
Mm-hmm.
See that?
Then the beasts go into dens and remain in their places, just like they are now.
Churches.
They are there.
Yes.
Out of the south cometh the whirlwind,
Doctrine.
and cold out of
Doctrine.
the north.
Both of them mean doctrine.
By the breath of God,
Doctrine.
frost is given, and the breadth of the waters is straightened.
That's right. That's
He's
doctrine.
showing you all these. Joe be coming with, man, y'all gotta get these bars.
Yeah, man.
Yes.
Also by watering he weareth the thick cloud, he
Yep.
scatter his bright cloud.
See that?
See that?
The
Where-
bright cloud.
Wearieth is yeah.
Yeah.
And it is turned around about by his counsels.
So he's saying
That
the
they-
clouds is the counselors, and he using them together.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
That they may do whatsoever he commandeth them upon the face of the world in the earth.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see how he did that. Go back. See how to see that trickery word right there? Flag one. He just said that they may do whatsoever he commanded them upon the face of the world
Yes.
in the earth.
Mm-hmm.
World in the earth. What world is he talking about?
Mm-hmm.
In the earth, in the carnal.
Yes.
Mhm.
We're talking about the
Carnal.
spiritual
Mhm.
inside of the carnal.
So it's showing you right there is not the same thing.
Yes.
It's not the same thing. They're in that spirit. They're in that carnal world.
Right.
We're in the spiritual world.
Yes.
Yes.
He caused it to come, whether for correction or for his land or for mercy.
Mm-hmm. But say doctrine. I heard you.
Yeah, you got all of it. So I'm just guessing. So everybody can pretty much. We read almost all.
But at the end of the day,
that.
that's the one that the cloud was the cloud.
Yeah. So but I mean, the whole thing that we're reading is talking about somebody teaching. So
Yeah.
if you don't get that a cloud is talking about a person,
It's
Right.
person.
it's similar to it.
Yes.
That's the point I was talking about reading it down.
Remember, he read about the cloud is bright.
Mm-hmm.
The cloud is bright because he got that understanding of But Isaiah 30 now, he got the light.
Right. Read that right quick.
Job 38:37. Who can number the clouds in wisdom?
See that? A cloud's got wisdom? See that?
Right.
Well, what cloud got wisdom? It's talking about a man.
He's talking about a man.
See that? So it's letting you know right there, straight up.
Yeah.
Clouds
I like that
is
one.
talking about the prophets. It ain't talking about the actual clouds in the sky. It ain't talking about no satellites.
Mm-mm.
You know what I mean? It's talking about satellites. Man, go sit down, man. Enough of all that.
Ain't talking about satellites, man. You sure?
Yeah, man. This guy, man.
What they say? Tricks are for kids, you silly rabbit.
All right.
You silly rabbit.
All right. So
Go
it's
back to
Isaiah 14:14.
mm-hmm.
I will ascend above the clouds, above the heights of the clouds.
Uh-huh.
I will be like the Most High.
See,
He said he's
the
gonna be
clouds are
higher
us.
than them elders.
Yeah, the clouds are us.
Yes.
Right.
Go to Moses was a cloud.
Yes.
Exodus 24:15.
Mm-hmm.
Precept upon precept upon precept upon precept. We do this
Bro.
all day, every day. I hope y'all know
All
this.
day.
We do this all day. Like, it's just ridiculous.
Exodus 24:15. And
Uh-huh.
Moses went up into the mountain,
See,
and a cloud covered the mount.
that was him. Keep reading.
He the cloud.
He the cloud.
Yes.
Keep reading.
Yes. And the glory of the Lord, glory mean understanding,
Uh-huh.
abode upon Mount Sinai.
Mm-hmm.
And the cloud covered it for 6 days.
Mm-hmm.
And the 7th day he called unto Moses out of the midst of the cloud.
That's Moses.
Cloud.
He the cloud.
Yeah, right.
Oh, I got a cutter. Did y'all, I don't know if you pulled it, Sirach 24:3?
Okay.
No, I don't think so.
Sirach 24:3. Since we going straight for the jugglers out here,
Mhm.
we at the Elders of Israel love to go straight for the juggler scripture
Straight for the jugglers.
so that you can never debunk what we're saying.
Sirach 24:3. I came out of the mouth of the Most High. Ooh. And covered the earth as a cloud. Ooh.
That's a clear cut right there.
Yeah, that's big.
That's hey,
Cloud is
hey,
the
that's
mouth.
a clear cut
That's
right there,
doggone.
brother.
That's a prophet, brother.
That's a clear cut right there. That's
Prophet, brother. All day long.
yeah. You can't come on here with that witchcraft.
Nah, you might need to go on back across the street.
Go on back over there. And matter of fact,
On this side of the river, go on that side of the river.
Yeah,
the
go on
other
over
side of the river.
yeah, we ain't
That's
going
right.
for that stuff.
All praises. Let's go back to because I know it's getting a little late over there for
Yeah. What time it is? What time it is over there for you, brother?
10:30 p.m.
10:30. Okay. Now we could, if y'all want to, we could finish up. Cause see, we're done with that Isaiah 14. Really, we got the juicy part of it.
okay.
But we can finish up if y'all want to, because it'll take probably about an hour, and I don't want to hold y'all that late.
Yeah, we probably need to go ahead and just pick up with it next
Yeah.
week.
All right, I like to open if anybody got any questions. Anybody come across a doctrine this week they need a question on? Or something that popped into your head that we can walk through? Nobody?
Praise.
Crickets?
Oh no, wood.
Wood. He said wood.
Yes,
Wood?
Yes.
yes.
What you
Wood.
got for wood there, Elder?
But see men in the trees walking?
Yeah, he got that one already, I'm sure.
You want some more?
Yeah, give him more.
All right, let's look at some.
I think what's that? Jeremiah 5:14. Is it that one? I'm trying to see. Yeah, I think that's it. Jeremiah
And
5.
also in Deuteronomy.
You said what?
28.
Also what?
In Deuteronomy 28, I think 64.
Deuteronomy 28:64. Hold on.
Let's do that.
What?
Deuteronomy 28, verse 64.
Yeah.
Write down Jeremiah 5:14, because it's telling you men are wood.
Mhm.
Jeremiah.
Yeah. Jeremiah
Jeremiah.
5:14.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, 5:14. Okay.
Hold on, sir.
You're gonna burn them up like wood. They would.
Mm-hmm. Jeremiah 5:14. Wherefore thus saith the Lord God of hosts, because ye speak this word, behold, I will make my words in thy mouth fire, and this people wood, and it shall devour them.
Okay.
Yeah, so he's saying the people is wood,
Yeah.
literally.
What
Let's go to the letter of Jeremiah.
Oh.
Chapter 1. There's another one, chapter. Let's start at verse 39. Well, 30. And then we'll drop down to 39.
Letter of Jeremiah 1:30. For how can they be called gods?
Mm-hmm.
Because women set meat before the gods of silver, gold, and wood.
So there's certain gods on this earth. There's gods of gold, silver, and wood.
Right.
Drop down to verse 39.
Jeremiah.
This is also Baruch's chapter 6.
Yes.
It's the same as letter of Jeremiah 1.
Okay.
And it reads, They're gods of wood, and which are overlaid with gold and silver, are like the stones that be hewn out of the mountain. They that worship them shall be confounded.
So the gods of wood are the lowest gods.
Mhm.
It's easy to get. Put it like this.
Yes.
The gods of wood is easy to get burnt up in the fire.
Yeah. Yeah.
So he said, these gods of wood, which are overlaid
Mm-hmm.
with silver, gold, and silver.
So it mean they faking the funk.
They faking the funk.
They're
Yeah.
faking
They're frauds, false gods, false.
Because he said, next thing he said, are like
Mhm.
the stones.
Yes.
That's right.
That be, you see what I'm
Yeah.
saying? So
Yeah,
they're-
they've been degraded to wood. Now,
Yeah.
now they sticks.
Yes.
Now they thorns.
Right.
All right, so now drop down to verse 55. We're going to get more on these gods of wood. I'm kind of skipping down so we can get it more about this wood.
Verse 55. Whereupon when fire falleth upon the house of gods of woods,
Mm-hmm.
or laid over with gold or silver, their priests will flee away.
So what is he talking about? The gods of wood or who?
Oh yeah, the modern
Put it in the
priests.
days.
the bishops.
Yes.
Those carnal.
They're afraid. Yes. They're
Right.
afraid.
Their priests flee away.
Yes.
Yes.
And escape.
And escape. But they themselves shall be burned asunder like beams. Yeah. Every time a video come out, they get burned.
That's the reason why we're not worried. I want to bring up one thing about that sacrifice though, and I'm not gonna break nothing down, but it's something to think about it because this thing is so heavy, brother. About the sacrificial law is still here.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
It ain't going nowhere. But until you get in the spiritual world, you know what I mean. But go to Leviticus 7:1. Just to give us heads up for the next class we're gonna touch on next week. We'll go right into it.
Before you go, Elder,
Yes.
let me go to Deuteronomy 28 and 64.
Oh, okay.
You know, yeah, he asked for that earlier. Deuteronomy 28.
No, I'm sorry. Yeah.
You did ask for that.
Also a stronghold.
Oh, yeah.
Deuteronomy 28:64. And the Lord shall scatter thee among all people from one end of the earth even unto the other.
Mm-hmm.
And there thou shalt serve other gods, like we just spoke about.
We just came from that precept.
Yes.
Yeah.
Which neither thou nor thy fathers have known.
Which gods?
You said
Even?
what?
You said which
Even
gods?
wood and stone.
So we just read over the gods of wood.
Yeah.
So we just came over that. So now that's something that your fathers didn't know, the doctrine they didn't know. Now the stones. The stones are precepts you didn't know.
Yes. But see, now it's letting you know, they got you thinking you're gonna be serving
Allah.
what they say the statue of Christ. They use that.
Yeah, the cross and Allah
and all that other stuff.
Yeah.
And you know the wooden statues of Christ on the cross and all that other stuff. But in actuality, it's talking about them, those men in purple.
It's talking about them, brother.
It's a curse. Yeah,
The people can't see it because he told them, and that's why it was so important for that Psalm 55 to come out. To know who the wicked are. That man, being that everybody think that literally when you see wicked in the Bible, it's talking about the white man. What the man did was he got the people to believe the white man was responsible for everything. When in fact, now you got a situation where the people who are oppressing them people are their leaders. So they sitting there thinking, you know, the white man is so evil and all that other stuff, but they all doing it worse.
And they act like the white man.
It's amazing. And the people, they can't see it. They can't see it. They don't even know that they're being taken advantage of. Those men living lavishly. They say they living deliciously for that congregation.
Right.
That's a shame.
And you have a men's conference every year to talk about the money.
They got a way.
Where my money? Where my money at?
They got a way to get that money. They're going to get that money from them. But we're going to Leviticus 7:1. Was that enough for you?
Yeah. I'm all right.
Okay, good. All right. Leviticus 7:1. Likewise, this is the law of the trespass offering. It is most holy.
Everyone has trespassed against the Most High.
Yes.
But they don't know the spiritual. He said it is most, he stressed that, most holy. That's what we're going to go over next Sabbath.
Okay.
Yes. All praises.
What is the trespass offering?
Yes.
What you did, you doing it right now, be honest with you. But we're going to break it down in precept. This is what all of us doing right now. We learning the spiritual. We giving him the meat understanding. We giving him the meat understanding what we learning. That's the offering. Offering us to him with the understanding what he want us to know. You recite it back to him what we learned.
Yes.
That's breaking it down, but we'll go through the precepts next time.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
But it's important that the people understand, look, everything that we doing, we don't hate them people.
No.
What we're doing is calling out those people's lies. You know, the situation with that deacon over there, it's unfortunate that, you know, he found out so late that them people was lying to him. But we don't hate them people over there.
No.
We went we fed them people. We done went to high holy days with them people.
Use our equipment.
We used our equipment to help them people for their high holy day. We went to their weddings.
Yeah.
You know, we helped them people, you know, done all kind of things. Them the people we turned to whenever we was following this foolishness, and a lot of us turned our backs on our families and all that other stuff. So them people became our family. Yeah. So how all of a sudden we hate them? We don't hate them people. We know them people sick with that doctrine that they following. We understand it now. You know, and they like in a trance or a spell or whatever, and it's going to take the Most High to make them see that those guys are the ones that's lying to them. But no, we don't hate them people. All we trying to do is tell the people what the Most High said. You know, it's like, how long did we spend on cloud alone? Well, we must have gave like 5 precepts for cloud alone. You know, to let you know that stuff that you being taught, them people can't back none of that stuff up. If you want to learn what the Most High is trying to tell you, you have to learn the spiritual doctrine.
That's right.
You have to learn it. If you don't learn the spiritual interpretation, you're going to be walking around believing in a bunch of foolishness. And then whenever the time comes, when things get tight, you're going to turn to them people and you're going to realize that they was lying. And now you're going to be in a situation trying to find out, well, who got the truth?
That's right.
All right. The Most High say the truth is free. Ain't nobody supposed to be charging you in order to get the understanding. The truth is free.
That's right.
So that's where we're going to end it today. And we wish the best to all of the people who are starting to get the understanding, starting to figure out what the lie is, and they starting to convert. And we always extend our hand to help anybody who have any questions or anything like that. We don't believe in being laws over the people. Let's get that right quick. 1 Peter 5. So you can see what the law is on that. Then we're closing on out. 1 Peter chapter 5. This is what we do. This is the law on what the elders supposed to do. All right? Read that for me, Elder.
The elders which are among you, I exhort, who am also an elder and a witness of the sufferings of Christ, and also a partaker of the glory that shall be revealed.
So the glory that's being revealed now is the spiritual law, right? We understand what Christ went through to give us this doctrine. All right, we got it now, right? So we have to exhort these elders. Tobias on his way to being a full-fledged elder. That man's so smart over here, man. You sit there and you start listening to him.
My God,
that man
bro.
popping that thing off like this. Yeah, boy, that boy been studying.
Right.
You can tell it too.
Uh-huh.
Now, this is what the Most High said to do.
Feed the flock of God which is among you, taking the oversight thereof, not by constraint.
We ain't gonna force them.
But willingly, not for filthy lucre.
We don't do it for the money. You ain't supposed to be taking any money. That's what he's telling you. These people are taking money.
Yes.
Right? They taking money to teach these people. The Most High giving you the attributes of the devil. The devil gonna take your money. You ain't supposed to be doing that. You supposed to love the people enough and love God enough to say, because them the two greatest commandments right there. Love your brother and love God. God said, go out there and have mercy on my people. I'm gonna bless you on the backside of it. I can't give it to you now, but I'm gonna give it to you on the backside.
Right.
All right? And they gonna get what you get. And you just gonna have to be all right with that.
Yeah.
These people want that filthy lucre.
Yeah.
Read on.
But of a ready mind.
If the person want to hear it, go on and give it to them. Anybody that want this doctrine, you teach it to them.
But it said not by constraint though, right?
Yeah,
so
no constraint.
So when you saying to people, I don't want to hear this, I don't want to hear that, when they come in to ask you questions, you can't do that.
Right.
You can't call, and you especially can't call yourself a deacon or any person of the congregation of high regard and telling you're not going to feed the congregation.
Right.
And they're asking you questions. They're bringing you, they're coming to you with their free will offerings and saying, hey, can you explain this to me? Hey, brother, I have this situation in my life, and you sitting around here pawning them off on other people.
Yes.
Yes.
Right. Exactly.
That's wicked.
Yes.
Yes.
Exactly.
I want to, that's all you got, Elder?
We're going to read this last couple.
Okay.
Neither as being lords over God's heritage.
Yeah, you got to understand right there. He's telling you. His heritage is his word.
You see that, brother?
Y'all sitting up in there, y'all lording over the word. Y'all sitting up in there telling people, Look, you got to come through me. Forget this God guy.
Hey, they
You
say
got
they
to
the
come
head.
through me.
They say they the head. That's right.
Yes.
Right.
I'm
He
the
told me.
That's their leadership.
Right. He told me this is how we supposed to teach the Bible.
Right.
Come on, man.
Come on, man. But he said you're not supposed to be lords over his heritage, man.
No, so you should not. So guess what? Y'all shouldn't be out there telling people they should be getting married. You can't go out there and tell people who they should be getting married to.
Yes. And
You can't be doing that. You
Yeah.
can't force people to get married to this person.
No.
I got to.
Read on.
That's right.
And-
I got a little homework.
Yeah.
If you're married, you have to be in a special condition.
Yes. Exactly. Exactly.
You gotta have a job.
Yes.
You gotta have a house.
All these requirements. That's right.
401k.
Yes. All of that.
Good credit.
That's right.
Crazy.
That's
Come on,
right.
man.
Read on.
But being in samples to the flock.
You got to go and you got to be righteous. You got to show it. You can't just talk it. You got to be it.
That's right.
I swear on my mom's.
Yes. Read the last verse right here.
And when the chief shepherd
Mhm.
shall appear,
Chief shepherd, that's Christ.
Uh-huh.
Now
He
they looking for a man. They don't know it's the word.
It's
Right.
the word.
Shepherd done already appeared. They can't see him because they carnal.
He's
But he already came.
Bro, he's here.
Read
He
on.
said he's gonna drop.
right.
He's gonna
Yes.
drop water down.
Yes.
And when the chief shepherd, big S,
Yes.
shall appear,
Yes.
he shall receive a crown of
What's a
glory.
crown? What's a crown? Crown something you wear. That's a diadem. Diadem. However you want to call it.
Mhm.
Diadem? Is that
That's
a
a
diadem?
doctrine.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
So
Crown
good.
of glory.
That
Glory
fadeth,
of understanding.
Lord is the spirit.
That understanding, yeah.
Yes.
that
ain't gonna
fadeth
fade
not away.
Hey, that's gonna be forever. That lost live forever. Y'all see that? Where you
Yes.
going to, Elder?
This just for homework. You can go to Judges 2. Just something for y'all to read up on.
Okay.
Judges chapter 2. Go to that, Elder. Verse 11 through 13.
Judges chapter 2, verse 11.
Mm-hmm.
And the children of Israel did evil in the sight of the Lord
Mm-hmm.
and served Baalim.
Mm-hmm.
And they forsook the Lord God of their fathers,
Mm-hmm.
which brought them out of the land of Egypt,
Uh-huh.
and followed other gods
Uh-huh.
of the gods of the people that were around. Gods of the people
Uh-huh.
that were round about them,
Read out their leadership. Read.
and bowed themselves unto them,
Uh-oh. Read.
and provoked the Lord to anger.
Read on.
Oh boy.
And they forsook the Lord and served Baal,
Who?
Baal,
Read on.
and Ashtaroth.
We'll get into that next Sunday.
Mm-hmm.
That's
Read.
it.
And the anger of the Lord was hot against Israel,
Uh-huh.
and he delivered them into the hands of spoilers that spoiled them.
Yes.
Who did deliver them?
The Lord was
He
hot
gave you up.
against-
Anytime you worship anybody else,
That's
he
right.
give you up. Say, go ahead.
Yep.
Yeah.
And he sold them into the hands of their enemies round about.
God, what did God do?
Sold them to their own house.
Yes.
Enemies of their
Oh,
enemies
right.
of your own house.
yes.
Own house.
That's right.
They leadership.
Right.
But this is something y'all to read on.
So,
Read about Baal, Belial, Baal, Beliapor. They're the same ones.
They don't get that. See, because if they're around about you, that means they're with you.
They're with you.
That's right.
So that
your
means
leadership.
that it's talking about people
Your
that's
brother.
in your congregation.
That's right.
That's right.
Your brother. Just like Psalm 55. All
It's
come
like,
back.
hey,
Started
come
off
on.
at Psalm
quickly,
55.
catch up,
We
catch
in
up, catch
there.
up, catch up. Come on,
That's
What's the
right.
hell to catch up?
catch up, man. Come on.
Wake up. Wake up. Wake
Them
up.
cats, man. I'm just telling you, man. At the end of the day, them cats right now, they starting to see as time goes by, these people understand it, man.
Yeah.
These people are not being fooled, and now they starting to get proper understanding, man. And we just so thankful, that the Most High, allowed us to be able to teach it. Like he said, we ain't supposed to be lords over nobody. All we want to do, we want to go, we want to teach this word. Whenever it's done, we want that well done. That's all we looking for, the well done. We ain't trying to get in these people's pockets and stuff, because all they're gonna do is start a bunch of confusion.
Nah.
So a lot of these people think they're gonna buy their way into heaven. Moses said, nah, you're gonna have to do what I said. He gonna have mercy on the ones he gonna have mercy on, but the rest of y'all gonna have to learn this doctrine.
Yes.